gamers, and welcome to episode 407 of the Super Ultra Podcast Arcade for February 25th, 2023. I'm one of your co-hosts, Daniel Nicholson, and with me is my co-host, Dominic Stallworth. What's going on this week, Dominic?
So the last couple of weeks, we've been off we took a week off, and because
special programming.
It was a lot of news. Yeah. What'd you say? I couldn't hear you.
I said we had special programming that week.
Yeah. And I did put up and I also was working on the Game of the Year podcast, Half-Ass Game of the Year. So that's up there. Check that out.
Definitely.
And spoilers, our Game of the Year was not Elden Ring.
Yes.
Take that, gaming world.
Take that from software. Here's your number 2 place trophy.
And George R.R. Martin.
Oh, yes, I forgot about him. What will he do, Dominic? What will he do?
All right, just joking. All right, so what we got? So we had a lot of things happen since the last time we did really a podcast, because the last podcast we actually did, we didn't talk. I ain't talking nothing about sports or anything, but Super Bowl happened and KC won, so there you go. The new guy for everybody to hate since Tom Brady's retired now. That's what he said. So we'll see what happens there. Oh, but he will be an announcer, an analyst apparently on Fox, where he's getting paid tons of fucking money.
I'm sure he will.
And just like somebody said in the comment, he was like, I was so happy to be done with him, and now I'm going to have to hear him.
You'll never be done with Tom Brady.
Well, like I said, I'll say, oh, listen to game on mute if he's doing it. Just mute the shit out of it, because like, nope. But you're going to still see him, though, because they're going to show a camera of him talking and saying some shit. God, am I going to quit football and basketball? Because I'm quitting basketball when LeBron James' son come in.
Yeah.
So, and that's going to be the season after next, I believe. And so, yeah, well, I ain't quitting football. I'm just going to watch my loser Commanders. Oh, unless Jeff Bezos buys the team. I don't know. That's been the talk now. He's putting a bid in. That's what people are saying. That's the rumor out there. I don't know if it's official yet, but I just keep seeing it out there. He putting a bid in it. I think somebody else already did say they want to probably buy it too. But I'm hoping by next season, we'll have a new owner. We get Snyder out of there. Or we can just have some new start, man. Yeah. New start for the Commanders. And or hopefully the guy who comes in can just change the fucking name too. Change the name to something better. I don't know.
They put so many wraps on so many Teslas though, Dominic. They can't afford to change that name now.
Yeah, you know what? And I got a hoodie, the Commanders hoodie for Christmas, so that would suck. I'll still wear the shit out of it though. I don't care. I still wear my
this is vintage
Washington team. I still wear my Washington football team T-shirts I got for the 2 years they were. All right, so where we at here? Oh yeah, XFL is back, people, with the Rock hitting it up. The Rock, his ex-wife, and some other dude. I feel really bad about not knowing the ex-wife's name, because I'm tired of keep saying ex-wife. I don't feel right saying that. The other dude, I don't give a shit. I don't care about knowing his name.
It is Danny Garcia. Is the ex-wife?
Danny Garcia. Okay. Yes. Oh, yes. And she's the owner, co-owner with her, The Rock, her, and another man. And so they've been hitting it up, promoting it. They're on ESPN. And also I remember Disney bought FX, because they said they have on FX. I was like, wait a minute, but Fox Sports does the USFL. How are they gonna do FX? It's like, oh yeah, FX is not with Fox anymore. But they still got It's so weird that they just keep the name. It's like, what FX stand for then? It's like, whatever. It's like Fox Sports. Like Fox Sports kept the name. Really, I think that's more the weird thing, because I think it's still Fox.
Right.
But yeah, it's just weird how they separate those things. But anyway, so I watched almost all the games. I think three out of the 4 games I watched. I watched a little bit of one of those games, but it was just that I didn't watch all the way through. But the other 3 games I watched all the way through. and I enjoyed them. They were pretty good. They were close. The DC Defenders games was really good because there's a tradition that happens for the XFL and DC Defenders. I think they do it in other stadiums too, but I remember from DC, they do the thing called that snake, where a snake cup, like in a crowd, where they put all their beer cups together to make a long snake in the crowd. But apparently the security just did not like fun. He did not like fun. And they said, please give us they took the snake away from them. The fans were upset. Start throwing lemons on the field. And I was very confused because I didn't know why the people were throwing lemons. And I was like, what the hell did lemons come from? I said, why are people throwing lemons? And I was thinking, like, I don't remember there being a bad call. Are they just upset because the team's losing? And I was like, but then I heard the story, and then I saw something on Twitter like hashtag free the snake. like get the snake back. And but after that, that's when DC Defenders started coming back. They got after they threw the lemons, they picked up some of the lemons up. The DC Defenders got a touchdown from interception, like interception for a touchdown, and then they start being on a roll after that. And they almost lost though at the end, but the guy fumbled the ball on Seattle, so the Defenders end up winning that game. But I think they're probably going to let them do the snake now because shit, you trying to get people to popular and people be in the crowds and still do stuff. Like shit,
they should get a beach volleyball out there too. Let them bounce that around.
But just make sure, guys, you don't want to be in the stand unless you're into that stuff. You don't want to be in the stands where they are because you will get wet. Because there was a lot of people.
That's what I wonder if like somebody complained about it, and that's because like otherwise, why does anybody care if they're just building a snake out of cups?
That's what I'm thinking. That's what I was thinking. That would be the only reason. Yeah. So and you just got to know. And plus, there's plenty of seats, so you probably can just move somewhere else. You can move somewhere else to sit. Even though the DC Stadium is the best one because it's the smallest venue of all the stadiums.
Oh, okay.
It's where the soccer team plays.
Oh, okay.
At the DC United field. The same one they played at in 2020.
Mm-hmm.
And because of its enclosedness, that it only holds 20,000 people, and because of its how close it is to the field, it can sound loud. While other places have these big ass stadiums they're playing in, but you don't get that many people come to the games. So you still hear them though. I mean, you still can hear people, but it's not like DC where it's really like the people in the field can really hear. You know, like it's really loud. It could get pretty loud, and yeah, those guys are like they were having a good time out there, man. And the players are having a good time. Well, the team that won, and you get you get $1,000 extra on your paycheck if you win.
That's pretty sweet.
So that's something. Yeah.
Just makes me wonder how much they're getting paid beforehand, though.
Yeah, they're getting paid $500. That's what they're getting paid. I was joking. I don't know. It's up there. You can definitely look at it. That shit's all pretty much open. But yeah, it was a good weekend overall. Even though I think they said viewership was down from the last time they have it. But then again, it was a big weekend. You had All-Star Weekend for the NBA. You had Daytona also. And I think Tiger Woods did something. So it was something Tiger Woods. I don't know what it was, a tournament or what. But yeah, so it was you were going against some hefty competition for that weekend. But that stuff I didn't really care about. I don't care about All-Star Weekend. Like when I was younger, I did, but it's not a thing for me anymore. And I don't watch Daytona, and I don't really watch golf anymore. And unless Tiger Woods playing in a real tournament, I don't care. And he's not going to be playing much anymore either. He even because he said the way his body is that you only can play in certain tournaments, so it's pretty limited.
That's rough.
But yeah. I mean, hey, it happens.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was. I think overall, I enjoyed it. I mean, I liked the USFL last year, and I liked it. And XFL was pretty good before COVID happened. So, yeah, and Seattle looked like they were going to be the top team because of the players they had offensively. Because one of the guys, Josh Gordon, who used to be a Pro Bowl NFL player, he he's on there, and he's been catching the balls, but they just can never hold on to their lead. They start off great, and then they just like go flat. And they had a Thursday night game, so they had Thursday night football. And Seattle played in Seattle, and they're actually playing in the Seahawks stadium, and they were playing against St. Louis, and St. Louis beat them. They came back and beat them. It was a good game. So yeah, so that's cool. There's really not much to talk about sports. I mean, a lot of things changed in the NBA though. Like Kevin Durant is on Phoenix, Kyrie Irving is on the Mavericks, so the Nets are just done. And then Westbrook left the Lakers. Thank God. I wanted him to go from there because they did not do him right. But he stayed in LA though. He went to the Clippers, and they played a good game against the Kings, but they lost in double overtime as of this podcast. But yeah, my Wizards still suck. They were winning last night. I thought it was going to beat the Knicks. But then they were up by I think more than almost 20 points or so, or more than 20. And then the Knicks came back and they beat them. So I was like, God damn it. We just it's like this team needs to change. And it looks like they want to keep some of these core guys. But I'm like, well, I don't know if it's going to work. I mean, unless you're getting somebody else, like, I don't know what. I mean, I guess they don't want to spend nothing now and just wait till off season to do something. I don't know. But it sucks because I'm like, I want to see some good professional basketball. My Terps, they did beat like the number 3 team at the time, Purdue. That was great. But then the next game, they went and lost. So it's like, damn it. And it was to an unranked team. So I was like, every time they seem like they start off good, they go lose. But then again, that's the way college basketball is now. It's the parity is just it's so big now. It's been like this for almost like 10 years now or so, that the parity is just it's not just like it's nobody who's dominant. Like the big schools are still like the top schools, but it's not like, but the thing is, back in the day, it used to be amongst the big schools, you know who was the best team. Right. Like, you know, this team, they're going to be doing something. Or if they lose, it's a true upset. Now it's like, hey, you got a chance. Now, if you're small school, yeah, your chances are still slim, but you got a chance to upset some teams, though, in the tournament. It's just that they still haven't won the big one. No small school still hasn't won the big championship yet. But they could be spoilers now. So, you know, you don't want to be that team that like got spoiled by a small school in the tournament. But yeah, so that's it. So any wrestling news?
Yeah, we can talk real quick about Elimination Chamber. The kind of headline of that was Sami Zayn versus Roman Reigns. They were in Sammy's hometown of Montreal, so he got a huge reaction there.
Oh God, the Canadians!
And it's kind of what's that?
I said the Canadians.
Yep, the Canadians. Yeah, and as expected, Sammy was not able to pull off the win there. Roman Reigns is still your champion heading into WrestleMania, and Sami Zayn just, you know, got destroyed basically. It was a valiant effort, but he got overwhelmed with Uso interference, and then eventually Kevin Owens did come out after the match to, you know, make the save. It seems like the long rumored match for WrestleMania was going to be the Usos versus Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn for the tag team titles. And it seems like that could be the direction they're going in as they now veer off with Cody Rhodes facing Roman Reigns as kind of the headline there. So yeah, I mean, WWE's doing some pretty fun stuff. AEW still just kind of trucking along. The like sentiment around them in like the online wrestling universe has kind of hit a downturn. And it really happened around like the time that the CM Punk stuff started happening and the Ring of Honor stuff. There was a lot of that Tony Khan was putting on the show, which a lot of people took as like being a distraction from the actual AEW kind of material, which at the end of the day, it's all wrestling. But, you know, when you have certain storylines that you're trying to do as part of AEW and, you know, these younger guys that you're trying to build up, but you're spending a lot of time with Chris Jericho winning the Ring of Honor title and stuff like that, it can be distracting. I think Tony Khan's just finding out that it's hard to have a very large roster of very talented people and kind of make all the booking decisions for yourself. It sounds like maybe that's not really the way that Triple H is handling WWE now. So as a counter to basically like what Tony Khan is doing or what Vince would have been doing, he's the guy that at the end of the day checks off on everything, but he's kind of like a showrunner in Hollywood, right? He's not the guy making the day-to-day decisions. You know, you have writers and whatnot for that, but he's the one kind of keeping the overall story together. And as such, you know, he's maybe handling it a little better than everybody else right now. So we'll see if that continues. You know, the next big event for WWE is WrestleMania, and I think that's like end of April. And then AEW is Revolution, which is their pay-per-view coming up, I think, like mid or late March. So they're building to that right now. I could be wrong about that, but yeah, that's kind of where wrestling is right now. It's still entertaining, still good, but nothing like huge happening until those pay-per-views happen. And AEW Revolution is March 5th, so beginning of March, actually, next weekend, actually. So yeah, wrestling, good stuff.
All right, cool.
Oh,
all right, so I guess
sorry, real quick, I do want to mention. Sasha Banks, Mercedes Moné now did have her first match for New Japan Pro Wrestling last weekend as well. And that was very
good. What's her name now?
Mercedes Moné.
Okay.
Like money. Which is kind of a problem because the announcers don't necessarily know whether to pronounce it as money or Monet. And honestly, now saying it myself, I'm not sure I know because like banks, bank, you know, money.
Yeah.
But Monet just sounds like a real name. It's Mone with a, you know, an accent over it. But yeah, she faced Kairi, formerly Kairi Sane in the WWE when she was over here. And they just had a really good match. She is now the women's IWGP champion. So we'll see how long she hangs out kind of in New Japan and doing those if she ever makes her way back to either WWE or debuts in AEW at some point, or if she just kind of wants to live out her dreams doing that stuff. So yeah, I did want to mention that.
All right, cool. All right, so now we go into what we've been watching. So I'll start off. Okay. I started watching Attack on Titan.
Oh yeah.
Again, well, it's not really again because I was watching it, but not really watching it like really all the way through. I played the video game, and then I said I'm going to start from where the video game left off. But there was still some things I didn't understand because that wasn't really covered in the video game. So I said, you know, I need to start from the beginning and watch it throughout. And I'm right now. I got up to the final season, part 2. I'm still watching some episodes of that, and I thought that was it. Like that was going to be it. Like the final season part 2 was the last, but apparently there's a final season part 3. As I'm like, what the fuck is the final season?
There's a more final season.
It started. Final season officially started in 2021, and we're still in the final season. And then it's like as many episodes as it's been, it could have just called this season 6 or something,
right?
Like instead of just saying final season. And then I come to find out, like yesterday, I was looking up this stuff. Part 3 of the final season starts in Japan, I think, next month. I think it's March or end of this month. I don't know. I think it was close. Well, at least it was close to that article. I don't know what it is now. But that's going to be the final season, part 3, part 1.
Of course.
And now I'm like, I wish I didn't start watching this shit. Because the only reason I started watching it because I thought it was over for some reason. Because I just saw final season and I think like, oh, so did it finish?
You should have known better than the final season being the final season, Dominic. How dare you?
And this, like, I think somebody said on Reddit, said like, I was about to See, I just started on it's like I'm on the freaking second season. I'm gonna stop the stopwatch until this shit is done. And I'm like, man. And I was like, man, I wish I would have read more on this shit, but I was trying not to spoil myself. And I'm like, oh man, you bastards! And I done spoiled myself anyway. I mean, because it's not done. So it's like I thought it was over. So I was like, oh, whatever. Now the manga is over, but somebody said it's gonna be. Some people believe that it's going to be different, or maybe they said that. I don't know. It's going to be different what the manga was. Some people are upset with the manga, saying that they like that ending. And I looked at that ending, and I mean, it seemed okay to me. I mean, I don't know. I mean, I'll see. I mean, then again, I'm not reading the manga, so I don't know how the story flows in the manga compared to the show. But overall, what I think of Attack on Titan, it's a good show. Like I mean, I thought it was interesting just because of the concept of these giant sexless monsters or whatever. They have no genitals and stuff like that. And like but it was just weird. But now knowing what they are and like how things came to be, and I mean, and how the story goes, like it's well done. Like, I don't know any other anime like this. Like, this is a well-done, well-told story and how it's presented. And it looks really good. Like, the animation's good. The music is good that goes with it. Like, the twists are pretty big in it. Spoilers. The twist of them finding out that there's more people around the world and that they're just on this island and that there's actually city over there, but who thinks of them as monsters, even though they're all scared of Titans, but those people look at them as the monsters. And then you learn the history of like what happened and why is it that way.
Do they just not know about the Titans, or are they like on the Titans?
No, they know about the Titans. They was to send them over there.
Oh,
like it's a big thing. Like thing is, they call them the devils because they're descendants of, they call it Aridians or something like that.
Okay.
They're descendants of this woman or whatever, of these race of people who they have the power to turn into Titans. Like, now the people there don't know that. And plus you gotta have something infused in you to turn to a Titan. You gotta do something to yourself. But it's not that anybody can turn into a Titan. It's just that only they can. And they didn't know that Titans were people. Like, they didn't see these people. They look like people, but they didn't think them as real humans that used to be humans.
Right.
Then when they found out, because Eren, the main character, he could turn to a Titan. So then they start learning more, and then they learned that there were some people who had come over, who infiltrated their military and stuff, who they befriended, like Eren and them were friends, but they were actually spies from that country. They came because they're supposed to take a Titan, one of the founding Titans, they call it. And they're supposed to take that and take it back and think that's Eren's Titan was one of the founding Titans, because it's supposed to be like 9 Titans, 9 founding Titans. They're special Titans that people like, where they're sentient, like, because you can turn into it. While the other Titans, they're just dumb. Like, you turn somebody into Titan, they're just like mindless. They're mindless monsters who just eat people. And thing is, if a mindless monster eats a founding Titan, they will take the power of that founding Titan, then they'll turn back to their human form. And then they can turn back into a Titan and a human from there on. So that's how that is. So only people with those powers can be sentient and control themselves and Titans. And then you only have a short shelf life, though, of your life. So you have to, at some point in your life, you're going to have to let somebody eat you so that power can go to that other person.
Wow.
Yeah. It's, I mean, once you get the story, once you understand it, like, you watch the show, you'll understand what's going on. Because, see, I went in one time just hearing this stuff, not knowing what the hell happened from the start. And I was like, I don't know what the fuck is going on. And I was like, so I had to go start from beginning. Because I was like, this video game didn't tell me all that. I was just fighting Titans. I was just fighting basically. And plus, that video game wasn't dubbed. So, yeah, I can't. Yeah, so that sucks. So, but a lot of times I wasn't even listening, reading the shit that they were saying. But yeah, the game. I mean, the movie is. I mean, I said the movie. The show. It's great, and it's really it really shows the consequences of war, and like this really is no. You learn like, man, who's the antagonist really, and it's like because everybody seems to be just almost a product of what they were told, right. and like what they believe, because like so the Marley, the city across the sea has sent people over there to attack the Elridians. They don't know why they attacked them. Then now they learn that they think because they think they're going to do something to them, even though they weren't. They don't even know. They don't even know that they were Titans, but they don't know that. They think that the king from a long time ago, because he said he was going to take it off. He said that, look, if you come break my walls, I'm going to release some Titans. But in reality, the king is peaceful. He just said that as a threat, just to leave them alone. He wasn't never going to do anything. And like when he passed the Titan to his descendants, they felt what he felt, which is we're not going to fight. And they don't fight. That's the thing. They don't fight. And the thing is, but it's come to be a detriment to the people too, because them not fighting, their people weren't ready to defend themselves.
Right.
And not enough anyway. So the problem is that, so that's why Aaron's father had took the founding Titan's power, because he's not really descendant of the king. He stole it, and then they learned. People thought, hey, only the descendants of the king can actually have the power, but that's not true. If you're just Elridian, you can have the power and still do it, and you don't have to go by the king's bidding. So now they say like, okay, good, now we can fight back. So they go over and attack them also, and it's funny because like, I mean, it's not funny, but it's like when the show starts off, you see these Titans coming. And it's killing people. That's how Aaron's mother died. A lot of people, their family members died and stuff. Yeah. So the fuck what? Now they know how it is. So now we can talk. We can talk now. Let's talk now. After I did that. Because we need to let y'all know this is what you did to us. But Aaron, he's really gone off the rails there. Like he's like the enemy now. Like Aaron turned from like the protagonist to an antagonist. And like he it's a good development too, though. The way he developed is pretty good. And I was like, wow. I'm still rooting for him, though. I was like, just burn the world, man. Burn it all. Let's burn it all. Burn it all. Just get those Titans and just kill everybody because they should have done this. Whatever. But, you know, what was I about to say? Yeah, I mean, the story is told well. Like each character and like, it makes deaths significant. Like people die really significant. Like you feel like, damn, what? And then because people even asking like, what are they fighting for and stuff like that. And like, we don't even know what's going on. This is like even before they knew what the Titans were and anything like this. And then you got to think like this is all their lives. They hated Titans and they were afraid of them. These people. Now they find out these Titans are people. They were people, and they were some of their people who got turned and something like that. So now people got confused. It's like, what the fuck is going on? It's like, and then they get confused because, oh shit, there's another world out there. There's more. They think they're the last of humanity. They thought they were like the last of humanity. And it was like, what the hell is that? And it was funny when they got some people from Marley, the place to work with them because they're against the government over there. And it was a black dude there. The guy's like, why are you darker skinned? And someone asked, why are you? And the guy just said, oh, I guess he basically spoke in a religious way. He said, well, that's one way people believe is that, like, he said the Lord, like, is one to make people different or something like that, to have people different or something like that. They say, but that's just one way people believe. Say, hey, you believe what you want, whatever. So then they just found out, like, oh, there's different people. Because all they see, the most that they seen was like somewhat Asian woman, who is Mishika. I think that's Aaron's friend. Almost like a sister to him, really, because they know each other forever, and she always sticks with him. And she's like half Asian, but that's the most they really ever seen. And only a few people who know about history know, like, oh, there were people of different races out there or something like that. There used to be a long time ago.
That's wild.
They didn't say the Titans. The Titans got rid of them, but that's not true. They still out there. they just didn't know. Yeah, it's a cool. Yeah, the show. I'm surprised how good it is, honestly. Because I'm not really into anime stuff. I don't have people who really watch anime, so I don't really know. There probably anime people saying like, "Oh man, everybody knows this show is great." Blah blah blah. But all I saw was just giant naked men. That's all I saw, man. So I didn't know what the fuck. It is just seem like weird shit, but nah, it's well done. What else? Oh yeah, I watched South Park, so I guess we can talk about that.
Yeah.
So how'd you like the first episode?
I thought it was enjoyable. It was, basically Cupid Yee.
Yeah.
What was he called before?
He was called Cupid Me.
Cupid Me.
Because he looked like Eric.
Yeah. Because he's a little Cartman Cupid that comes around for Valentine's Day, I guess. But in this one, it was Cupid Yee, and he basically turned into Kanye and was, trying to turn Cartman against the Jews, basically.
Turn Cartman against the Jews.
More against
like
the
he
Jews.
wasn't already against them.
Eric Cartman has turned over a new leaf, Dominic. Come on.
No, I think he was really trying to turn Token against him before he won't be his friend.
He really was.
He won't be Kyle's friend, because Kyle was
they're making
wasn't
TikToks.
being with Stan, he was doing TikToks with Token, and Stan was feeling a little jealous, so Cartman felt like he needed help, so that's why he had Cupid Me, but then Cupid Me was Cupid Yee, and he just starts spouting off like, oh, the Jews control Hollywood, and they do all this, and blah, blah, blah. They say the blacks were the original Jews. They stole it from them. And they stole it from them. It's like he was spreading all that stuff. It was pretty, it was pretty funny. But I do like how they show it like, only Cartman sees this, and like everybody just sees Cartman just acting weird, basically. Yeah. like this is all Cartman's mind. And everybody just sees like, who's he talking to? He's like, who's he talking? But the second one wasn't that. The second episode, and there's only been two, because I didn't see no. Unless
I just looked this morning. I didn't see
it.
Another one yet. So
yeah, the second one was okay. It was really dealt with Meghan Markle and the Prince and Prince Harry. Because now I think they got a show out on Netflix or something. It's like they all talk about they're making fun of them about like wanting to be private and not being around the royal family stuff. But you always see them in front of the camera. You see them everywhere. So it's like a joke on that. But instead of them being Prince Harry and Meghan Markle, Prince Harry from England, they do it like Canada. They said the Prince from Canada and something like that. It starts off with the Queen from Canada funeral, not the British Queen.
Yeah,
and yeah, it was okay. It has moments, but it wasn't as good as the first one. All right, so you watched some more Last of Us. Are you caught up?
Yeah, I've been staying pretty caught up with it. So far, it's been very good. I want to say the fourth episode, they got a bit more actiony. You saw some more clickers. There was kind of a big battle scene. I think there's like 9 episodes, because I think there's like 3 more, and we're up to 6. Maybe this is the 5th episode then. I'm not sure, but it's been fantastic so far. It's been interesting. Not really. I'm familiar enough with the game to know kind of the general idea of things, but not knowing like the kind of smaller story details. I'm still not sure like how much of this was in the game and how much isn't. They do kind of the same thing they do with The Last of Us, where there's a little bit at the end of each episode where the director talks about, we took some of this from this and we took some of this from this. But it's still not like explicitly clear about like what characters are brand new and which characters are returning. It definitely does make me kind of interested in going back and revisiting that game, which, I mean, that's exactly why they put that $70 version out, right? Is like, they're like, yeah, people are going to be interested in this. I think the way I'm experiencing it, maybe, I mean, even if I hadn't known what was going on in the game, but like experiencing the show and then going back to the game, I think will definitely would be the preferred experience, because like the game you're actually getting gameplay out of, whereas like if you're taking the story of the game that you've already played and then just watching a show of it, sure, they're changing some things, but like you've already seen that story, right? Whereas
And
like,
I think that's the problem for me.
yeah,
That's why I have no interest in watching it. I mean, I'm glad people are liking it. Like, I'm glad it's a good show.
yeah,
But I like
it definitely is.
it. Yeah, even hearing that, I still can't watch it because it's like I played through the game and
Yeah.
I don't know. It's yeah. I wish if there was the other way around. Yeah, I totally agree. I can do that.
And I think like the biggest hurdle for you too would be like the first episode is basically like the game. Like you're not getting much variance there at all. So yeah, I think if you watch that and you go, yeah, they're just doing exactly what I thought. This is the game. Like, I don't need to see this again. Maybe if you get into like, I think even episode 2 is probably a similar way. I think episode 3 is probably where it diverges the most, that I understand at least. And then kind of on from there. But yeah, I think you giving it the benefit of the doubt or giving it a chance is kind of a big hurdle to jump through for something like this, where it is seemingly pretty faithful to that content. And that content, especially for you, like it wasn't even really about the gameplay, because that didn't really work for you, the stealth stuff.
Yeah, exactly.
It was more about the story. So like if you're just going back to it for the same story that is what engrossed you in the first place. Yeah, but I think so far they've done a fantastic job with it. I think this upcoming episode is going to kind of be the based around the story of the DLC, where it's basically goes back in time and you see Ellie developing the relationship with another girl. That's what it seems like from the kind of ads at the end of the episode. But yeah, I think the actors are doing a fantastic job. I think they've just done a fantastic job overall with the look and aesthetic of it. It's a very good looking show. They definitely put a lot of money into it. And I think the clickers, the first time you see them in the like second episode, when you see like real clickers, I mean, you see kind of some of that stuff beforehand in the first episode. But when you see like the real fungusy looking things in the second episode, some of it looked a little like, but when they do like the bigger battle sequence, not battle, but like bigger sequence, more special effects stuff in one of the later episodes, that stuff really comes together. So yeah, it's really good so far.
Okay. All right. So I guess we're getting to what we've been playing. So,
Yeah.
All right. So I tried the new Harry Potter game.
Okay.
The Hogwarts Legacy. And I played like the very beginning up to the point where I finally picked my what group I want to be in the school. Gryffindor was apparently the one.
Do you get to choose that, or does it choose it for? I feel like you've got to choose it, right?
Yeah, well, it's based on what answer you say to the hat. They ask you a question about something, and
that makes sense.
I said I'm daring, and apparently that's Gryffindor. And I was like, damn it,
pretty Gryffindor.
I didn't want to be the freaking obvious one. I should have put ambitious. If I put ambitious, it probably would have been Slytherin.
Maybe. Yeah. It depends. Is it multiple questions or is it just one question?
It's just one question, apparently.
Oh, weird.
And,
does that mean it gives you 4 different answers and each one is tied to a specific house, I guess?
Yeah, it's 4 different answers.
Yeah, see, that's weird. It feels like, I mean, I guess
But it said you could choose. After I picked Gryffindor, it said, "Hey, choose another house." So you can still choose another house.
Interesting.
Apparently.
I'm gonna be
But
ambitious, but also Gryffindor.
But I didn't play farther than that because there's quite a bit at the beginning to get shit started. Like you're going to the Green Dots or Green Gots or whatever it's called, the bank, and
Green Gots, yeah.
freaking the goblins, and then you saw that evil goblin that has power. I didn't know goblins can use magic. Oh yes, they can, but I didn't know they can use magic without humans letting them use magic. I don't know. Maybe that's why he's a bad guy.
I think my understanding of this game is like it's got something to do with like a goblin rebellion or something. So maybe this is like when they start to lose their powers and you know are starting to become more enslaved or whatever.
So gameplay wise, it's so far. I mean, I'm having a good time with it. I like how you're able to use the spells. I know like you start out. This is like doing the story segments on using spells. You have to kind of trace your wand a certain way. It's like a little mini game thing. It's pretty simple, but it's cool. When you're actually fighting, you use the right trigger to shoot, and then you can also to block. I think I forgot what it was. I think it was the left trigger. And if you time it, like you can kind of stun them. Like if you hold it, like you hit it. It was like a counter, but you have to hold it, and then you do a stunno or whatever the hell that he says, and he stuns him, and then you can like hit it with your wand again, and but this is just like basically tutorial kind of fighting right now, so I haven't really got deep into like the leveling up or anything. I played probably like maybe 20 minutes, and there was a lot of story elements to this. The voice acting is pretty good. I did make my character like black, and it had some good features in there, like the black hair and stuff. But you're going to be British, so I was wondering about that person you said complained about it not being pale enough. I want to know if they were they were foreign too. Because I'm like, it's not because the guy's gonna be British. It's still not the same as me, so that doesn't matter. So it doesn't matter then. It don't really matter that what he is, that he looks like me not. Because I didn't know why he was going to talk. Honestly, because I saw the voices is you only get two sets of voices, like a more female voice and a male voice, and I was like, oh man, they ain't got no American one. I say, oh no. So I was like, I guess I'm going to stick with this. But yeah, graphically it looks all right. Well, I'm not on my PC. It's not that great because of my old graphics card and memory, but it still looked pretty good. And I've seen what it looks like on the better PC and on the newer consoles, and visually it looks good. And like so far, I mean, I'm interested to play some more. So I'll probably get into that while trying to finish up on Persona 5, which I'm at the end. I'm doing the last mission that was part of the Royale game. That was something new from the first game. And it really deals with like this guy who was a therapist throughout the game of Royale. He wasn't in the first game, but he was a therapist in this game. And then he does some changes to the world, like changing everybody's cognition to something that pleases them. So it sounds good. It sounds like, hey, everybody's getting what they want. Like, well, not everybody. Most people are, because some people just seeing like, why is everybody so happy? It's something that say like, why? And while like people are seeing some people who have died, they're alive now and stuff like that. But like, you don't see that because I think of the kind of person you are, or whatever, special persona user you are, and or he couldn't find something to satisfy you. Maybe that's what it was. I don't know why he couldn't do you, but yeah, you were basically seeing this, so you got all your friends out of it, and now you're trying to make him change everything back, saying that like, look, this isn't right. You shouldn't, like, some of these things make people who they are because of these either the traumas they had or what they had, the struggles they had to go through. it made people who they are, and I mean it's part of life, and you can't just make everybody happy, and then making somebody happy, you're going to have to take some away because make someone happy also means something has to go wrong for someone else. So I mean sometimes, so like because you want to make everybody happy, something's going to have to happen to somebody else. Well, my happiness is that I wish that son of a bitch would die.
Jesus, Dominic.
That will make me happy, Daniel.
Well,
and that's what's
in that
important.
case, maybe we should consider it.
It's like I don't think he would do that, but anyway. But no, yeah, it's a pretty good story. It's a pretty good story, and I like the palace that I'm doing. I like the mini games they have in here. That's pretty cool. I know some guy didn't like one of them. It wasn't really a mini game. I mean, you didn't really have to do it. You could just like brute force and just fight the enemies, but I wanted to do it the right way. Where you had to answer these questions and answer them like how the therapist would answer them. So it'll be like a question like, and we don't like right or wrong answers. It'd be like, hey, if there's a person who needs help, would you go help them right away, even though there's a chance that you can get harmed? Or would you go and get help from someone else to ask for help, even though that time getting someone else to help, well, your friend might get injured or something bad would happen to your friend. Thing is, we were, and then you discuss with your friends, and you discuss it's like, hey, either way, the friend could get hurt either way. If you go help now, but then we realized this ain't really about. So it's not really about the friend. It's more about, are you willing to risk yourself, risk yourself going to help your friend or not? That's what it came down to. And then we said we would go for get help because the way that this guy is. Seems like he wants to take the easy way out of things because like people say like making people happy, like not making them struggle, like say, hey, why struggle to learn how to do this when like it is called hardship if you fail. That's the kind of guys we see him as. So it's like, yeah, okay, that'll be the answer he'll do. He'll go get help because that's the most bit of mistake because still you probably can help and then you'll get hurt. And that's not it's not nothing wrong with that because even they said it. It's like nothing wrong with that. Just that'll be the best answer for him. And then after more questions you get, you see like, okay, this guy seems like he wants to take the safest route and the safest route to happiness, like, but to achieve happiness, so that you don't have to struggle and like you don't put too much like you having pressure and stuff. Like he's basically saying like why should we have to suffer basically. To get either what we want is like if you have to suffer to get something like get somewhere, then don't do it. Basically, find something else, find something new instead of keeping at it. Mm-hmm. And sometimes that is good because maybe you're just not good at that thing. But it's all up to the individual. So he just sees it as one way basically. While you're just saying let life be what it is. Like just let people let it happen.
Interesting.
All right. And I was playing some more Vampire Survivor. I was doing some for video for the Game of the Year awards. Mm-hmm. Then I started playing the hell out of that for a while.
Gotcha.
But that game was just so addicting. I think I was playing. I forgot what map it was, but I think it's one of those new ones that's only like 15 minutes or something. And I picked one of these the character that uses. What does he use? He uses the magic, like, pamphlet paper thing, whatever it is, where the magic goes horizontal. It just shoots up and down and whatever. I was using that. I used that for the first time. So that was pretty cool using that. And then I forgot who I used the next time, but I was almost at 30 minutes and then a son of a bitch got killed by something, and I was like, God damn it! But I've been trying to pick weapons that I don't usually use, because I'm trying to like level them up to unlock stuff. And thing is, that combination I had was a struggle. I had it like at 20. I was at 29, like 30 something, and then I died, and I was like, you gotta be fucking kidding me.
Been there, yep.
All right, so what you been playing?
All right, so I've been playing more of the Metroid Prime remaster, following the shadow drop of that from the Nintendo Direct we talked about last time we recorded. It still looks fantastic. It plays really well. I just picked up the Ice Beam and am progressing along. I'm not sure how far along I am, to be honest with you. But
are you playing this handheld?
Yeah, mostly handheld. Actually, all handheld. I haven't hooked up.
You didn't record anything? God damn it.
No, I can if you would like me to. Well,
yeah,
I might be able to. I got to get my capture card back in my PC. I think I can.
Yeah, that's right. Your
hardwire
PC.
my desktop to my router that I have nearby. And then because I got one of those. When I got set up with the new Fios router, they gave me like an extender. I think I could put that extender next to my PC and then hardwire my PC into the extender and then take out that Wi-Fi card and put in the capture. Yeah, because I would like to see what it looks like on a bigger screen as well. But yeah, it feels good. I don't know that I have much more to say about it, but it's fantastic. And I'm glad to be given the opportunity to go back to that game because honestly, it's been so long. I don't even remember if that's a game that I beat or not back in the day. I wouldn't be surprised if at that time it was something that I fell off of eventually, just because that's really the way I've always been about video games. So yeah, I'm trudging along through that. I also played some Marvel's Midnight Suns because they were doing a free weekend of that. So I downloaded that on Steam and I played for about, I think it said 4 hours when I looked at Steam just earlier to uninstall it. My biggest problem with that, I talked about it on the Game of the Year stuff, that I was actually excited to see what they do with the character stuff of that. But really, that stuff wasn't doing much for me. I was actually really into the gameplay, the battles, because they do have like a nice twist on the XCOM kind of tactical stuff. You do have cards, and each kind of round you're given the ability to use 3 different cards, make one move, and then do like a hero action or something maybe. But you can also have cards that if you kill an enemy with that card, you get another card go, basically like a free turn. And the way that the enemies are set up is they have like grunts that you always kill as long as you hit them. And there's no like percentages or anything like in an XCOM game. It's basically like you use this card against an enemy, it's gonna damage them. So there are enemies like grunts that if you hit them, whether it be with a card or there's environmental stuff where you can like pick up a rock and smash them over the head. And that's kind of like a free turn almost, as long as they're within range and you're within range of that rock. All of the arenas that I've dealt with so far are kind of just like enclosed spaces. They're not huge. They're not long. You can kind of move about the arena freely. And that's the stuff that I really liked. But in those 4 hours that I played, I actually didn't get a lot of chance to do that stuff. Like I did the initial like training bits, which is Doctor Strange and Tony Stark, Iron Man. And then I meet up with the Midnight Suns, who is Blade and Magic and the Robbie Ghost Rider, the younger Ghost Rider, as well as who else is in my party at that point? Miss Marvel, or Captain Marvel rather. So kind of the biggest thing that I played was I was facing against Venom on like a rooftop, and he's got some abilities where like he can freeze your character in place and stuff like that. A lot of it so far has been like me fighting against Hydra soldiers, because basically it's like Hydra has resurrected Lilith, this demon lady, that is going to make the Midnight Sun happen or something like that. And then I guess the world goes all bad or something. But that gameplay I really like a lot. The talking and kind of Mass Effect ship portions between the battles are less interesting. I think the writing is just not particularly good, and the character designs are kind of not great either. It's not an awful looking game by any means, but it's definitely closer to a like Marvel's Avengers Uncanny Valley than it is to like a Spider-Man, kind of top tier animations and facial work and stuff like that. Overall, I came out of it pretty positive, though. If it's something that I saw at a lower price, I'd probably be aiming towards 20, just because I know myself, and even at that price, I'm probably going to buy it and then, play a bit of it and then fall off of it. If it's something that was on Game Pass, I would download it and start playing it again, pick it up again. But right now, it's not something that convinced me that I need to rush out and buy it. But I was impressed by it. I really dug what I played of that game.
All right, cool. Yeah. Go buy it so I can play it.
One of these days.
All right. So I guess we'll take a quick break, and when we get back, we'll get to the flashback segment.
Yeah.
And we're back. And then we're flashbacking to 2013, 10 years ago. And now we're looking at, what games we're looking at? We got Crisis 3. Crisis 3 was released 10 years ago. The third Crisis game, I think the last one too. I don't know if there was one after this one.
I think that's the last one before they started doing the remasters. God damn it. Crisis 3, that means this is the year of the bow.
Yeah, that's right. I think because Tomb Raider came out this year too.
Going to be out this year too.
The bow. Crisis 3, I played little of it. I think there was a demo, and I think it was free.
Yeah, there was a demo.
I think it was free with one of those things, either PlayStation or Xbox.
Games for Gold at some point, yeah.
And I didn't play. I think I did a couple of stages or whatever, but I never beat. The only one I have beaten, I did beat the first one. I don't remember nothing of that one, but I do remember Crisis 2.
Yeah,
I did beat that one, and I thought that was pretty fun. The story wasn't all that great, but it was fun playing. So 3, I just wasn't really into it. To really get into it. I wasn't really into it to play it. I mean, it got decent scores. It got 77 on PS3, 76 on 360, 76 on PC. I mean, it was good.
Yeah.
I mean, it was good. It got a 9 from Game Trailers, 8.5 from IGN, Game Informer gave it 8.5. I see a 9 on EGM. Edge gave it a 6. They got high standards over there. One up gave it a B+. So I think it was good. It just wasn't I don't know, it just wasn't it wasn't huge like the first one. The first one was really big because of the graphics of that, because it would break your computer or whatever. Mm-hmm. And they said, it can't be played on these consoles. Then 2, it could be played on the console. So I guess, and it even looked good then. And I said 3. Let me see. The debut Crisis 3 was the best-selling retail game in UK, closely followed by Metal Gear Rise and Revengeance during its debut week. And I don't know if it sold as good as the other ones. They don't say that in this sales thing, so I'm going to say no. It says a title along with Dead Space 3, another EA title that was released in the same month. Wow. So EA's done this before. They didn't just do it with Titanfall.
They've always
failed to meet the company's sales expectations. So it failed, yeah. So, and that was it. That was it for the Crisis. Crisis has been averted. All right. So the other game, Metal Gear Rise and Revengeance, was released, and this, I'm still shocked that I have not played enough of this game. Because it's a game style I would like, but honestly, I never paid attention to who made this game.
Yeah.
Platinum Games. I just thought it was probably be a silly Metal Gear game, side game. So I used to love Metal Gear when I was younger, but as I got older, I liked it less. So I didn't really care about this. I was like, oh, they just doing some riding shit and say, oh well, it's like you see a whole bunch of Matrix shit happening. I don't really care. But thing is, I didn't even realize like, oh, it's like Devil May Cry and all those other games that I like. So I never gave it a chance. And then when I did get it for free, I played it, and I did like what I played a little bit of, but I never stuck with it. So it is like it's an action game. It's not like the stealth Metal Gear. It's like I said, it's more like a Devil May Cry or a what's the name, Bayonetta, and then there was what's another game they did? What's the one with the space game and the man in the space suit? I forgot what it was called. I beat that game. Oh man, it's a game where you're shooting your gun and you're always sliding. You're sliding a lot. And
Vanquish.
Vanquish, yes. So yeah, it was along those lines, and it looked good. I like the way that you chop up stuff. I remember they showed you chopping a melon or something like that. Yeah. And yeah, it looked cool. And I played some, and I thought it was pretty fun. But it was just that there was always a time when I started playing with another game I was also playing too that I just wanted to finish and never did. But it got reviewed well. I mean, shucks, it got like in the 80s throughout the PC, 360, and PS3. The highest score I see is like a 9.2 on game trailers. Game Informer gave it a 7.75. Darn. They did not pay them money, huh? What's it say here? It says Legacy. Hideo Kojima mentioned in 2012 that depending on the game's popularity, the staff would make a franchise based on it.
Well, he's got no say anymore.
Well, I mean, he was still with him, so I guess it wasn't popular enough because I don't see there was no other one that came after it. So I don't know. I don't know how the sales were. What are the sales? Platinum. Well, he expects good sales for the game. Blah 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 blah. And the game received the gold prize for 2013 PlayStation Awards for the PS3 version, selling over 500,000 units in Asia. It was the second best-selling game following Crysis 3 in United Kingdom. And then it says estimated 1,222,000 copies sold on the PS3 and Steam platforms as of April 2018. I don't know if that's good or not, though. All right. So is that it for 20? No, we got, okay, you tell me about this one. 1 or 2. What is 1 or 2?
Yeah, so it's basically the sequel to Bit Trip Runner, the 2D platformer, like auto runner platformer that was based on like old Atari games. Runner 2 upgrades the visuals to full 3D models, but you're still running on a 2D plane, and it's kind of rhythm based. Like you have the option to jump over things, duck under things, or kind of like smash through things or something like that, I think. Runner 1 I really got into. Runner 2, with the introduction of like the 3D visuals, it became a little too busy for me. I think it's still a fantastic game, but it just didn't work in the same way that the first game did for me. So it was cool.
All right. Oh, I didn't realize that was Bit Trip Runner sequel.
Yeah.
All right, so now we're going to 20 years ago, 2003, and now we got Dark Cloud 2 or Dark Chronicles, which I guess that's what's called Japan or Europe. I don't know, but I know it's Dark Cloud 2, and this was a sequel to Dark Cloud. It was shell shaded. It looked totally different than what Dark Cloud was, which was pretty plain. Yeah. And this one, it happened years after Dark Cloud, the original. And well, it's kind of confusing. It's not really confusing, but it happened years later. But it deals with time travel, as in like going further into the future. So you play as two characters. There's a girl and there's a boy, a princess or something like that, and she's from the future of where he's from. And you still do similarities with Dark Cloud, with fighting enemies and then collecting stuff to build a town and things of that nature. And I don't ask you about the story. I haven't played this game in like so forever or anything. But I remember having a good time with it. I did beat it. I liked it. I used to love the whole creating your town, because it's kind of like Sim City-ish or Sim Town-ish or whatever. There's those simulation games. You know, I used to love the town building stuff, and the fighting was good. It was like an action RPG, and so I enjoyed it enough. The story was basic, and so I enjoyed that enough. So yeah, in the game it got rated pretty well. Got an 87 Metacritic. Darn, I didn't realize it was that high. But yeah, it's.
Don't worry, it was getting shit on the message boards, Dominic, because this Zelda killer then went and stole the Zelda cell shading technology.
But yeah, I think IGN gave like a 9 out of 10. Yeah, and what does this guy say? He said it's arguably the best looking PS2 game out there. Damn. Well, that time it was. Damn, what? Come on, Metal Gear? It's better than Metal Gear. I guess he just liked the cartoon. That's why he was like the shell shitty look. He included that Dark Cloud 2 takes this. Go ahead. What'd you say?
I was gonna say it's kind of funny that like I remember the hype around Dark Cloud, and I feel like that came out and kind of underwhelmed, and then like nobody really talked about Dark Cloud 2 in that way as like the Zelda killer, because they had already done that and realized that wasn't going to work. Yet here it is, like scoring substantially higher.
Yeah, a whole lot higher than what Dark Cloud was. Because Dark Cloud 2 takes the standard secret road and gives us everything that made the original Dark Cloud great, only bigger and better. Well, that didn't take much, because that is,
How dare you?
Come on. The leap in quality between the two games is really amazing. Yes, I agree with that. From the incredible graphics to the great sound to the refined gameplay, Dark Cloud 2 just oozes of quality and polish. And yeah, it was. Because I was surprised how good a score. When I saw how good a score was and what you do, and plus the cell shadiness, I was into that. I was into that at that time, because I was like, oh man, like it looks cool. I like those graphics. And that's when I really started getting big into level 5 games. Like I started looking to see what they do and what games they were in, and it felt like level 5 was doing a whole lot of shell shade stuff for a time. I don't know if they're still doing that. Maybe they are still doing it. I don't know. They did Professor Layton's and stuff like that. Nino Kune. I mean, come on. Yeah, they're still doing that shit. They are. I'm trying to think. Yeah, the latest one. Oh, they're doing a Professor Layton's The New World of Steam for the Switch.
Yep.
Yeah, they're still doing. They like, we're just gonna make cartoons, or we're gonna make games and just put dark lines around the characters. But yeah, Dark Cloud 2, I really liked it. And Darren, man, it makes me want to. I'm gonna probably look up the game, and I'm not gonna play it. But it was another game that came out after it that I wanted to try out, but I just never did, because I was playing other things. I forgot what it was. What was that game? Let me see. It was by level 5. Let me see. Dark Cloud. Okay, Dark Cloud. Well, Dark Chronicle they call it in Japan. Well, of course, Dragon Quest 8, because that's what I played. Rogue Galaxy. I always wanted to play Rogue Galaxy, just never did. And that game was rated pretty well too. Yeah. We won't see that till another. We won't talk about that for another 4 years. Another 4 years, we'll talk about that. Or unless, actually, maybe another 2 years, if we're going by Japan's date of when the game came out, which was Darren. They were 2 years.
That's crazy.
Before the US. And I think I remember it probably was, because I think I was reading about it, and people kept asking like, when's this coming to the US? I think it's one of those things like you didn't know if it was coming to the US or not.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So what else we got here? We got Indiana Jones and the Emperor's Tomb. This was somewhat big as for like a big 3D Indiana Jones game. Like I don't remember like a big. Yeah, this is probably one of the first 3D ones, because I think they had side-scrolling game. And then they had the point and click game, of course, back in the early 90s. So I remember reading this in like Game Informer and being a little jealous because it only said Xbox. And so I did not know that it was coming to the PlayStation, but eventually it did. And that was the worst version, of course. But we dealt with it. It probably was the best sold, so that's all I was going to say. But anyway, the Metacritic got the PC and Xbox at 73, PS2 at 65. Darn, GameSpot gave it a 4.8 out of 10 for the PlayStation 1. That's bad. What did They don't got Game Informer up here? Oh, maybe they gave it a bad score. Maybe that's why I didn't get it. But I think I saw the Xbox version was better, so that's why I probably didn't bother.
Yeah.
Let's see what the people said about it. Here's Jeff Gerstmann. He reviewed it for GameSpot.
Oh boy.
Darn, he hated that PS2 version. Oh, you bastard! He was a PlayStation hater. He reviewed each version of the game. Darn, that's when you had to play each version, Daniel. Yep.
Sure was.
And wrote that the sound-alike voice actor of Harrison Ford does a convincing enough job, but felt that some of the other voices don't fare so well. Grisman also wrote that while the plot contains a few twists and double crosses, the game is very thin on storytelling, only breaking into cutscene to move you from one part of the world to another. Grisman also noted various audio and gameplay glitches in the Xbox version. Grisman wrote that the PC version contained less graphical and technical problems compared to the Xbox version, but was critical to the PC version's control issues. Reviewing that the PlayStation version, Gerstmann noted some graphical issues as severe and said that it pales in comparison to the Xbox version.
Damn.
PC gamers said some frustratingly twitchy jumping. The game does a superb job of capturing the spirit of Indiana Jones films. And PC Games In, what does that one stand for? Says include the game on its list as best action adventure game for PC, writing that in 2018, writing that while it has some flaws, such as being unable to save mid-level, Emperor's Tomb earns its place on this list for truly making you feel like Indiana Jones. So yeah. So I guess it gave you the spirit of Indiana Jones. And man, that guy has the foreign face, man. On his Indiana Jones cover, this guy, I'm guessing he's the antagonist. So this is the time when you make the antagonist had to be ugly, deformed.
Yes.
That's why people always hated deformed people. They say, "Oh, you gotta be evil. You're evil." Now today, you can't do that. Because they say that you're prejudiced and you're giving you're hurting people. So now we like real people in wheelchairs. We didn't like them. Everybody in a wheelchair was evil.
Jesus, except FDR. FDR was fine.
And Professor Xavier.
Yes, and Professor Xavier.
All right. So yeah, and this is a big one. Xenosaga Episode 1, Der Willi Zermatt. And I took German. And I knew what that said a long time ago.
Okay. I looked it up because I had no idea.
What it stand for?
The will to power.
Okay. Yes. I remember I do that. I say, oh, look, I know what this is. After I looked at my German book to look up each word and what it meant.
Or the penis in the machine.
All right. So the reason why this is huge because I love Xenogears, even though I never did finish it. But because it got weird at the end. I know why I didn't finish it because there was a glitch in the game that I cannot get past because of my cheats, and actually no, that's not true. I'm sorry. No, the game was just fucking horrible at platforming. And I could not know how to jump over to somewhere. And I stopped for years. And eventually I did end up beating the game shit, when did I beat the game? It was late. Probably, it was after Xenosaga 1, I think. Episode 1. I went back to Xenogears. But anyway, yeah, because I bought the game. I bought the game because I had sold the game. Then I saw the flea market for very cheap. because it was like selling for a hell of a lot on Amazon and eBay. And I was like, oh my God, this game is blah, blah, blah. My stupid ass was I was telling my friend while I was in there, and I was like, wow, this game is only, was it $5 or $10? I said, this game is so like $100-something online. And then the guy heard me. He heard me. He was like, what? I said, like, hey, wait a minute, man. Because I went over there to him to get it. He said, wait a minute, you saying it's sold a lot online? He said, you sure? And then the guy asked another guy, they said, we'll sell you for 15. I said, oh, fine. It was still better than what I would get. But I could have got it for 10. My stupid ass was so excited talking all loud. Yeah, my friend was like, why you say you should have said anything. He said, I didn't think he was just going to change the price on me. I didn't think he was listening to us. I didn't think he's but anyway. Yeah, but Xenosaga is like a spiritual successor to that game. It's not really a successor, but it sort of is. So I was like, I really want to get this game, and it looked all right graphically. It was very anime-ish though, because come on, like a sexy robot lady and shit, cyborg. But yeah, I liked the game when I played it. I really liked it, even though I don't think I ever played the game without cheats. Honestly, I don't. So it's probably not fair assessment of me saying like how good the gameplay is. But the story, it really deals with that religious vibe, which that's why I'm kind of curious. Is the new like Xeno Blade or whatever it's called? Is that really religious? Because these days talk really went through some biblical stuff here.
Yeah,
that was pretty questionable. I mean like that Christians true Christians probably wouldn't like. But I was always curious, like with the Nintendo Xenoblade, does that even do anything with that stuff? But yeah, and then I was excited because this is supposed to be like a huge episode thing. It's like it's gonna have a lot of episodes. That's what the creator said. I think it ended up only being 3 because of money and time and shit. But yeah, man, I was so happy about this game. I wonder how it sold, the first one. It got an 83 on Metacritic. And this is a great looking game despite some lip syncing issues, which I'm just guessing because of the Japanese, right? I think they just probably just dubbed it. They probably, because I know like now in games they actually take the time to kind of fix it so it at least finishes when the English finishes. Yeah. Some games do, but some games you don't. If you're really looking, like if I notice it, that means it's a bad job. If I don't, yeah, because that means. Because I'm not looking for that. So if I notice it, it's probably bad. See that? Yeah, the animation was pretty good. What else? At the first Spike Video Game Awards in 2003. Oh, that's the first year Spike did the Video Game Awards. Xenosaga Episode 1 was nominated for Best Fantasy Game and Best Animation category, but it lost to Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic. Oh, and guess what? And guess what else it lost to, Daniel? For Best Animation. Guess what lost to the Best Animation? Dead or Alive Extreme Beach Volleyball.
Hell yeah, that's the Spike I know and love, Dominic.
Look, it says, but it lost to Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic and Dead or Alive Extreme Beach Volleyball, respectively. I think that was a joke. For the respectively part. Like, respectively at the Knights of the Old Republic, yes.
No, they just mean respectively as in Knights of the Old Republic for the first category, they said, and that's what they mean, Dominic.
But you know what? But you know what?
They don't mean respect on those titties.
Dead or Alive Extreme Beach Volleyball actually is better animation. It probably was better animation.
Probably. They put a lot of energy into that animation, Dominic. Yeah. Not so much of the gameplay.
Yeah, this game, oh man, I just get some memories of this game. Because I remember I was so happy getting it and playing it and not understanding what the fuck was going on. Those were good times. Because the story did get confusing. All right. So that is it for 2003. So now we're going back 20 years. And this is huge. 20 years ago this month, Star Fox for the Super Nintendo was released in Japan. It came out the U.S. When did it come out to the U.S.? Like a month later.
Yeah, it was March, I think.
Which is kind of, well, it's not too surprising, I guess, because you say with the chip stuff and everything. But I'm just so used to Japanese games being like more than like just a month. But yeah, Star Fox, this was big because they're using the FX chip or whatever it's called.
Yeah,
and,
Super FX.
Yeah, and that really showed it was able to show polygons. We didn't know what polygons were until that chip came out. So now we can see shapes in games, and that confuses a lot of us because I didn't know.
Tell you, Dominic, as someone that loved Star Fox 64, I went back and tried this morning since we were talking about it, and man, I understand why as a child that didn't make any sense to my young little brain, because it still doesn't make any sense to me. That game does not hold up at all.
I think Star Fox 2 is better, Daniel. Play that one.
Yeah, maybe. I think I tried that when the NES stuff,
I'm about to say,
first went on
that
Switch.
should still look, I mean, it looked like Star Fox. But anyway, yes, I remember doing that too, because I remember playing Star Fox 64 and looking back at that one. I was like, good God, it's not even close. It's not even close to what this game is. I was like, this actually looks like a ship. I can actually see it's a ship. I don't know what the fuck this thing. This is a triangle. I'm just driving a triangle. Yeah, with other triangles and just shooting at them. And a bunch of polygons just coming at me. God, bunch of obtuse right angle triangles coming at me and shit. Teaching me geometry. Yeah, but Star Fox, no, but it was big. People did like it, and if it wasn't for this game, we would not have Dino Planet,
which is the best Star Fox game.
Yeah.
You know, the sad thing is it's probably actually not that far off from being the best Star Fox game, because I think that game is Star Fox 64, and Dino Planet might be the second best Star Fox game.
It got, I don't even see a Metacritic, but it got Game Rankings have an 88%. They got 35 out of 40 on EGM, which I didn't know they do out of 40. I think somebody messed up here. I didn't think EGM had that kind of score. Famitsu gave it a 34 out of 40. Nintendo Life gave it, wherever how many stars this is, I'm guessing there's 10 stars, they give it 9 stars. Nintendo Power gave it 4.1 out of 5. Official Nintendo Magazine, 96%. Okay, I'm confused. I thought Nintendo Power was the official one. What the fuck is this? Is this a Japanese one or something?
Maybe that's what it is.
Or a I don't know, European one.
It's
I don't
a British one. Yeah, it's a British one.
Okay. Oh, the Brits have their own, huh?
Brits have their own. Because they have to review the games like 3 years after they come out in North America and Japan.
Oh, but probably that's why they don't have Nintendo Power. It's like they tired of showing games that people already been playing. It's just like overseas, but they don't have yet. I don't see Game Informer or nothing. But yeah, man. At the time I used to thought that was pretty cool. It's like seeing the commercials for it.
Yeah.
But actually getting to play it, looked weird. I mean, it looked cool, but it looked weird at the same time. Like it was like very different. It was like, man, this is the future, but I don't understand the future yet.
Exactly. That's exactly what it was.
So, but then by the time I did get to understand it, there was so many better games that looked better. But it was a good attempt though. Yeah. I don't know how well it's sold. I'm gonna assume it didn't sell like a ton, because I mean, if it did, you would think they would have made more. Maybe more Star Foxes. Nintendo sold more than 1.7 million units. Make
those games, Dominic, in all those 3 dimensions.
1.7 million units in Japan and the United States by the end of March 1993. Okay, that's pretty damn good. Becoming the fastest selling video game launch in North America, up until then. Yeah, man, because everybody, those graphics.
Yeah.
There's like, oh, look, polygons. So yeah, this is the Legacy. Here we go, the Legacy. Star Fox has become established Nintendo franchise. With 6 more installments and numerous appearances by its character. Man, there's 6 more installments. What the fuck are you talking about?
Hold on. Let's see if I can do it. We got Star Fox 64, Dinosaur Planet, Armada. There was one on the DS.
Star Fox 2.
And then not the 3DS. All right. I think that's all I got.
Star Fox 2.
Star Fox 2. Does that count?
Yeah, they count that one.
Oh, okay.
Let me see. Well, they're not really telling me the
Assault,
other one.
not Armada. That's what it was called.
Assault, okay.
And there was
Maybe
Star Fox 64
Star Fox
3D,
They might
and
not be
then
counting
Star Fox
Fox
0 is the one I forgot.
What's the one with the one without Star Fox? And they got little people.
Little people.
The one that came out on 3DS. It was they weren't Star. It was called Star Fox Battle something.
I think you're thinking of Metroid, right?
Oh, that's Metroid. Oh yeah, that's right. You're right.
Future
You're right.
Federation or whatever. That one.
What was the Wii? The Wii one?
Not the
Wii one. The Wii U. The Wii U one. The Wii U one.
The Wii U one was 0. That's the one I forgot about.
Okay.
They need to bring that to the Switch, Dominic.
Is that 6?
That is, let's say we got 64, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, not counting 2. They're counting 64, Adventures, Assault, Command, which is the DS one. 64, 3DS, and then Star Fox 0.
Man, Star Fox didn't really have that many good games.
No. Star Fox has 2 decent games and then a lot of appearances in Smash Brothers games. He's the best character in Smash Brothers. Decent.
Because it started out, man. I mean, the first one, I say 3. 2 didn't really technically come out. So. Yeah. All right.
It's time to revisit the others.
That is it for the flashback segment. So I guess we'll take a quick break. When we get back and get to the gaming news.
All right.
And we're back. Now we're going to get to the gaming news. What we got there?
All right, Dominic. So last time we recorded, we talked about the Nintendo Direct, but there was one game that I skipped over that I realized after the fact that I very much should not have because it's right up your alley. Master Detective Raid Code from Spike Chunsoft, the team that does AI, Summoning Files, and Danganronpa. Did you see that? Did that look good to you? What are you thinking?
I gotta remember what it looked like. I'm looking at it now. Master Detective.
I think it's Rain Code. I put Raid Code.
Yeah,
but I think it's Rain Code.
It comes up. Archives Rain Code.
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, the Master Detectives. Archives Rain Code. That is definitely Japanese, man. I mean, that title. And I'm curious about it because it looks like something like Danganronpa, more closely to Danganronpa than anything, but still, I want to give it a chance. But it's something about the Danganronpa design because it's really their animation. Their characters look scary. Like they got these big eyes and stuff, and that looks very like when he opens that door, I'm like, holy shit, it scared the shit out of me. That's why, like, when something shocking happens and like some music goes with it in Danganronpa, it kind of scares me. It's like, oh shit, I don't like those eyes. It's like, look at me. It's not looking at me. But yeah, and it looks like, I mean, for the video, it looks like it's action, but I think it's going to be like Danganronpa, where you probably have to hit a button real quick to slash a word or something, and so the animation will move, but it's not really you moving them.
Gotcha.
Well, yeah, they look like characters that could be in Danganronpa though, because there's the same animation. It's the same look of it, art style.
Yeah. All right.
But yeah.
So
But this is the introduction one. So they showed more. This is from.
Is that a different?
No, maybe this is the same one. I mean, maybe
I think it might be
this
the
is
same one. They're just saying it's like the first time they showed it off or something. Right?
Oh yeah, it's the same game. Yeah, but that was 2 months ago. I'm looking for the one that was more recent.
Oh, 2 months ago. Oh, I guess it's not the same one.
2 weeks ago. Oh, okay.
There you go.
Yeah. It looks the same.
Oh.
Yeah, it looks the same. But I mean, it looks a little cleaner, I guess. But that could be just the video quality.
Yeah.
So, they got an exact date now. So June 30th. Okay.
Oh wow, that's sooner than I expected. I think. Nice.
Damn! Look at that blood. No. Oh my god. Oh, maybe it's just paint. It might be just paint. All right. So what we got?
All right, so next up, Dominic, we got an official announcement from Nintendo. They will not be going to E3 this year.
Good God!
Yeah.
So there is no E3 then?
Yeah, basically. The rumor was that them and Microsoft were not going to be at E3 this year. We already kind of didn't expect Sony to be. So this is official confirmation. And yeah, like what is E3 then if it doesn't have any of the big three or EA? Who does that leave?
Square Enix. Well, not Square Enix. Yeah, Square Enix. Yeah.
Yeah, Square Enix.
And Konami, Capcom,
Activision, Blizzard.
Yeah. Well,
except the deal might theoretically be closed by then.
Yeah.
Yeah, like that's rough. I wonder what that means for Jeff Keighley's thing. Like, are they going to be a part of his thing, and that's why they're not going to be a part of this, or are we just going to have Nintendo doing their own Treehouse thing at some point around that time, but not actually going to the show? I'd be very disappointed if I'm someone that either was looking forward to going to this event or has to go to this event for coverage, you know, like IGN or something. Because, man, that's rough. I guess Reed Pop was not enough to convince them to come back. Which is kind of crazy because I was looking for it earlier and I didn't end up finding it, but I had thought I heard somewhere that Nintendo was going to be at PAX East this year, which is at the end of March. And if that's the case, like, damn, why are they going to be there, but they're not going to come to E3? Yeah, Nintendo confirmed to have a booth at PAX East 2023 5 days ago. So, like, what's going on there?
It's it. However, we have been and continue to be strong supporter of the ESA at E3.
We continue to be supporters by not showing up. That's rough.
Giving you good vibes.
I don't know if E3 and the ESA can come back after so many years of just not having a quality show. This is like the death by 1,000 paper cuts for E3 instead of just like it not coming back. It's always like, oh, we're coming back. Oh, but we're only doing virtual. Oh, we're coming back, but we don't have any of the video game companies anymore. Oh, we're coming back, but it's just me holding up a picture of the latest Squaresoft game because they're the only ones that agreed to come. That's rough.
Well, the Escapist got an article, which I don't know if it's true. Konami will reportedly reveal Metal Gear Solid 3 remake and new Castlevania at E3 2023.
I mean, that would be pretty big. I mean, I wonder if Konami's like, yeah, we're going to be at E3 because Hideo Kojima's hanging out with Jeff Keighley. So we're going to try and take his show down a notch by announcing all our big stuff there.
I wonder, like, I guess they're going to have their own show if that's the case.
I mean,
like,
everybody's going to have their own. Oh, you mean like one of the press conference type things?
Yeah.
Man, yeah, I wonder if that would be a thing they would do. They've never done.
Yeah, because what? Because
right?
what are they going to announce? Like, what other games are going to announce? Because how would you have? You would think they just put it on somebody else's press conference.
I mean, yeah, you think about that, but like these past couple of years, Square Enix has been doing their own thing, and it ends up just being like, yeah, we got Final Fantasy and maybe like one other game.
They show games because they used to show when they were Eidos was with them.
Yeah.
They had games though.
Yeah, they showed.
They still had a lot of Japanese. It's just the games I didn't care about, but I mean, there were still games. They had enough. They had enough to do a show on.
Yeah.
But Konami, I don't know. I haven't really seen much from them besides like not really remasters, but I guess re-releases. I guess collections.
Yeah, re-releases. They're gonna sell you all the NFTs, Dominic. Okay, is this enough for a show? They've got Dead Cells with Castlevania. They've got whatchamacallit, Metal Gear Solid.
But this is Castlevania. When does that come out?
I don't know. It might be out by then, but they'll still show it off. They'll be like, hey, there's DLC for this DLC. You can buy an NFT in this game. And then they'll announce a new... Oh, they got Silent Hill, right? They can show off some of those games. They could probably fill out like 45 minutes to an hour. Yeah,
they can. Yeah, if they have Silent Hill, Metal Gear, and Castlevania, and like they show some stuff with them, not just like it's just a trailer. And they have somebody talk there for like 10 minutes, telling you absolutely nothing really. Then yeah.
Here are some sketches of our new snake designs. Like EA was doing for the Star Wars games.
They're going to make them look like Keith Sutherland.
There you go. Bring him back. Give him all the money again. Yeah. So, I don't know. It's going to be interesting then if that actually turns out to be true. In some other Nintendo-related news, Nintendo and Microsoft have entered into a binding legal agreement to bring Microsoft games, including potentially Call of Duty, if they make that deal happen, to Nintendo players for the next 10 years. Dominic, we had previously talked about the rumor of this, or the, like, I don't know that it was a rumor so much as like the non-binding legal agreement, but just Microsoft word that they were going to do this. But now they've put out a joint statement, so Nintendo was on board. What do you think this actually means for anything? The focus has been on Call of Duty because of all of the legal framework of the actual acquisition, but I wonder how much this expands to like other Microsoft properties. I would not mind seeing more Microsoft games come out on the Switch or Switch predecessor. And, we've talked about it for years, but I would fucking absolutely love if they could figure out a way to make an agreement to get Game Pass on to the Nintendo Switch.
Yeah. Hell yeah. I would love that.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like with the Call of Duty, it's just that how would Call of Duty even run? Like, is it going to do the streaming like everybody else do when they can't run on the damn hardware, or choose not to even try to make it run on the hardware?
So it makes you wonder, like, what that next Switch hardware would be.
Like the Wii, they had new versions of Call of Duty that was slightly different than the Xbox 360 and PS3 ones. Because of the hardware, like I don't know, and like if it is Call of Duty, or could it be just like, oh, we're going to do some more Crash Bandicoot, and we're going to stay up here.
I feel like that is definitely included in the whole scope of things, like without being pointed out,
or like what they've done so far with Diablo 3, and
I keep forgetting that came to Switch.
Well, I mean, they can say, hey, we're going to bring Hearthstone in there or something. I don't know.
It's about time.
I know. Shit.
I know there has been some talk of like there's a Warzone for mobile that they could potentially put that on the Switch as is, and kind of fulfill their promise here like that. But yeah, that would definitely be a step back, I think.
Put the Call of Duty classics up there, like the Call of Duty.
There you go. Here are the ones from the 360. They still barely run for some reason.
And do the one that was on PlayStation 2 and shit, and GameCube.
There you go.
I think it came on GameCube. I think it came Call of Duty. Yeah. The Call of Duty come on GameCube? The first one?
I don't know. I think Medal of Honor maybe came to the GameCube eventually, but let me see. GameCube Call of Duty. Finest Hour. Yep. Finest Hour was on GameCube as well as PlayStation 2 and Xbox.
They didn't have the one before Finest Hour?
That is... Let's see. Did Big Red 1 come to the GameCube?
So Finest Hour was the first one, and then it was Big Red 1?
Big Red 1 came in 2005. Finest Hour was in 2004.
Okay,
so, yeah, it looks
so that's the one I had.
Would have been the first one.
I think I had one for PlayStation 2. So yeah, they should get Finest Hour. There you go.
There you go. That would be so messed up. It's fine, Dominic. It's going to be a Finest Hour remaster. All right. In some other Microsoft news, they have also, had an agreement with NVIDIA to put their games on the GeForce Now streaming service. Basically competing with themselves with the Game Pass streaming. What do you think, Dominic?
It's good for the people who don't have Game Pass. Like if they just bought the games off Steam or, it's just Steam because I don't think they're on Epic Store. So... Yeah, that's kind of cool. I mean, I kind of want it to be where, hey, I'm an Xbox Game Pass member and I technically have the games. Can I just play it on NVIDIA stream because it's better? Like that's really what it is for me, man.
Yeah. It would be nice if they gave you that option.
And technically the PC games don't stream. That's the thing.
All right.
It's just the console games that stream.
Huh. I wonder if they would maybe even make that a part of the Game Pass, option then instead of having to actually pay for GeForce. Well, no, I guess to make it work the way they want it to make it so they're not a monopoly or look like they're not a monopoly. I guess you would want NVIDIA to make money independent of yourself, I guess. Because, I mean, obviously you would be paying NVIDIA if they use them to do their PC streaming. But, yeah, I wonder what that means. I guess we'll see how this shakes out eventually. I mean, especially following the actual, deal going through. I think that's what I'm more intrigued by at this point is, once that deal goes through... What happens to all these words that they're putting out there? I mean, obviously now they're getting into
on it.
Legally binding. What's that?
They renege on it. It's all
back
ours.
on all of it. Yeah, fooled you. Here we go. Yeah, that'd be kind of messed up, Dominic. All right. In some other news, Dominic, we got Shinji Mikami, the creator of Resident Evil and the founder of Tango Gameworks. He is leaving the studio that he founded.
Damn. Just came out with a game and he said, fuck it. I don't want to be here anymore.
He's like, we're going to put out this Hi-Fi Rush trash. What happened to my horror games? No. I've heard some speculation that he might end up back at Capcom in some kind of what is the word I'm looking for? Just as a here's a role for being such a big part of our company for so long, an honorary role. I guess.
But he probably just left because it's this is too west for me. I need to go back to east. With my people.
Exactly, Hi-Fi Rush. They put that out, and he's just he turned it back. Yeah, so that's I wanted to look up his age because every picture I see of him doesn't look particularly old. Okay, he's 57 years old. He's looking pretty good for 57. Or these are very old pictures.
Yeah, those old pictures.
Those old pictures. He looks rough nowadays. Yeah. So good for him. You know, take your time, do whatever you want. I'm sure he is financially stable and doing plenty fine for himself. So I'm sure the future is his oyster, Dominic. All right, the next story, Dominic. This is kind of some big news that came out in a way that maybe some people would not have wanted. Mortal Kombat 12 was officially announced for release in 2023. Based on the fourth quarter earnings call from Warner Brothers. Basically, the president and CEO of Warner Brothers, David Zaslav, he was like, yeah, we got a whole bunch of great games coming out this year. We've got not Injustice. We've got Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League, and we got Mortal Kombat 12. Yeah. So Ed Boon went on Twitter and was like, hey guys, have you heard about Injustice 3? You know, as a joke to yeah.
So that's why you sent me that.
Yeah.
I didn't get what the hell that was about, Dan. I was looking for Injustice 3.
I thought the comments, you know, gave it away a little bit.
They definitely did not help because they were in on the joke, so they weren't really explaining the joke. Gotcha.
Yeah, so it's unfortunate that it came out that way, I guess. You know, clearly not the way the developer would have wanted that to happen per se. But when do you think we see that game then?
You say it's 2023.
Well, yeah, but I mean, like, how soon?
Oh, after Street Fighter.
After Street Fighter. Okay. Well, because
no, I guess
for a while
end of the year,
they had been doing like an April or March release date, but I've heard some people speculate that they would show this game off at EVO, but EVO is not until August.
Yeah, so end of the year. I say end of the year.
Would make sense because you do have Street Fighter already announced for
and then you got June. Then WB has
Tekken.
That is their own game. They got the Suicide Squad.
Oh yeah. I mean, yeah, but I guess if you're Warner Brothers, you would want to spread out your big games, even if they aren't going to necessarily cannibalize.
You don't want to EA it.
Sales.
You don't want to Titanfall.
You don't want to EA it. Yeah. Yeah, you want to spread your money around a little bit. But, I mean, what do you want to see out of a Mortal Kombat 12? Is there anything, like, new or you want to see return? I want them to take
out some stuff. I know that. Take out that damn crypt the way they did it. I want that gone.
Yeah.
I want to be a simple crypt. Like, you unlock shit and that's it. It ain't no, like, I have to do some shit a billion times to get this costume thing. Oh, fucking man, hell.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. I don't know if they'll give you that though, Dominic.
And the new bod. And that's it.
Of course, yeah. I mean, you definitely want to see Sub-Zero hanging dong, I guess.
A reptile. Let's see what he got under there.
I just want to see what's under there. Which part's man, which part's beast? I don't know. All right, Dominic. So now we're going to get into the Sony State of Play that occurred this week. They kind of basically did the Nintendo thing of like a day before being like, hey, tomorrow we're going to have a State of Play.
Oh, wait a minute. Oh, back to Mortal Kombat.
Yes.
I do a tag team. I'll do one tag team.
Yeah? You want to see him switch up like that?
Yeah.
It could definitely change up gameplay in an interesting way.
I mean, it doesn't have to be like that's the main thing. I mean, just have a mode.
Yeah.
Where you can tag in.
I wonder how much like goes into like having to rebalance that though to like whether they would be willing to do that or not as just a mode because of how much work would be needed to do that.
Well, if you didn't want to work, why the fuck you get in video games? Just go do something else then. I ain't asking. I don't care how hard it is. You just do it.
I see you own a video game company, Dominic.
Yes.
Make them sleep under their desks. They will complete this game. We told Microsoft they would.
Like, you just get it done. I don't care how you get it done, how many people get the kill. You just get it done.
I see you're working for Nintendo now.
Yeah.
All right, Dominic. Sony State of Play. So they kicked it off with kind of a montage of the PSVR 2 stuff. That hardware came out this week, so that is a thing that is being reviewed. We have not done... What's that?
I just painted like PSVR 2 on my Oculus, and there you go. I got one.
I was just going to say, we did not get a review unit from Sony yet. Still waiting to hear back from them. It's so odd. They never answer our emails. But the first game that they showed off, new game, the Foglands. This is coming out this year. It is basically like an undead kind of Western shooter, old-timey looking thing, but with cartoony graphics. It looks all right. It seems, like kind of standard VR fare, I guess I would say. Next up was Green Hell. This is a survival game. You see the person in VR putting together like a rock and a stick to make a hammer or an axe and that kind of stuff. It's set in like a jungly environment. That's coming out this year. Synapse. This one looked pretty cool. It's kind of like a sci-fi shooter, but you've got like powers where you're picking stuff up and throwing it around, like kind of telekinesis type things.
Okay. That sounds familiar though. Like I've seen that before.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. Maybe some of these games are ones that are already even out on the Oculus or something like that. Or you're thinking Synapse. Of Frozen Synapse. That game from a while ago, I feel like now. But I don't remember what that was. I almost want to say that was like a builder kind of game. A tactical thing. And then this isn't the last VR. Another VR game was Journey to Foundation. This is coming out in autumn of 2023. And this is basically like a sci-fi adventure style thing. There was some shooting in it, but it didn't look like that was necessarily the focus. But it's based off of a work by Isaac Asimov, who is the like kind of famous writer who talked about like futuristic stuff and robots and AI and things of that nature.
What's this game called?
Journey to Foundation.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it looks all right. And then there is Before Your Eyes. This comes out March 10th. And Dominic, is this one you've played before? I feel like I thought maybe I'm confusing it with hearing about it somewhere else. But basically...
Before Your Eye?
Yeah, it uses a webcam. It's been out on the PC, but it uses a webcam on the PC. And when you blink, it senses you blinking and it progresses the story. Okay.
I did. God, I remember that. Jesus. I stopped playing it though. It was getting too real.
They're coming out with that on the PlayStation VR as well. I think that did you play that on Oculus or did you play that on...
Shit.
What's that?
I was seeing a PewDiePie video. I didn't mean to click on that one. That be playing Before Your Eye.
Gotcha.
What were you saying?
Did you play that on the PC or did you play that through like
the PC?
Because I think there might be an Oculus version of that as well now. So, yeah, that game seems really cool.
Wow, I did not get to the part where you see a wolf. I did not get that far in this game.
That's the end game, Dominic. That's after you take the MDMT at the end of the game, and then you start hallucinating. This is spoilers.
Yeah, that game was cool, man. I like that game.
It's nice to see something that's like actually doing something like real inventive in video games. Like, yeah, that's never a concept I've seen anywhere else. So.
I didn't get far because I couldn't blink anymore.
You gotta print out a picture of your eyes or use that NVIDIA software. Have you seen that NVIDIA software, Dominic, for streamers where it's like it replaces your eyes with digital eyes so that you're always looking at the camera no matter where your eyes look?
I don't like that. I don't want to see that.
It's really weird because like you can tell something's off, but at the same time, it doesn't look just. It's not like you're replacing it with CG eyeballs or something where it looks super fake. I don't know what it does. It uses computer vision and AI or whatever buzz terms, but that shit is wild. All right. So next up in the state of play was a trailer for Destiny Lightfall. That's coming out next week. That's the latest expansion for Destiny. Looks like Destiny still, Dominic. I don't know what's going on anymore. I did see that the Traveler still exists. I don't know what the Traveler's doing. I'm kind of intrigued to like...
I think this game costs like $60 though, so it must be a lot.
Does it really? Okay.
Yeah, when I looked it up, I was just looking up to see how much it costs us to get it, and it says $60. I was like, oh shit.
I wonder if that's like this is catching you up kind of version. So I don't know how much any of that stuff costs anymore. You know,
well,
like
when I was looking, they had a free weekend. Well, today's a free weekend of something, and I was trying to I was saying, oh, let me actually try this out. Then I realized the download was like 100 or something gigs.
Oh, wow.
And I was like, oh, fuck it.
So they're in the Call of Duty territory.
And because they got so much content now.
Yeah.
And then I think to buy, I forgot it was like $100 with all this other stuff.
Okay. This is okay. Destiny Lightfall on the Microsoft Store at least is $50, but then Destiny Lightfall 2 and the annual pass, whatever that gets you, is $100.
It's a Lightfall 2? This is a sequel?
No, Destiny 2 Lightfall, sorry. If I said backwards there. Yeah. So, yeah, I think we got into this game 10 years too early, Dominic. We were the beta testers for Destiny. We should have jumped on board like now, where there's plenty of content.
Darn.
All right, let's see.
2 is free to play, but shit, it's probably like it's even worth it. I don't know. I don't even know what I'm. There's too much minutia and shit to go through.
That's like even the raids, like listening to how you had to like get through those things. It sounded so complicated and like such a dedicated. And I get that that's like what MMO raids are, but like it's not what I'm looking for. I don't want to be forced to play this game for 10 hours. If I want to play the game for 10 hours, I'll play the game for 10 hours. But I don't want to have to spend 10 hours in a game straight through to beat a raid or something like that. That does not sound fun to me. All right, Dominic. Next up was Chia. We've seen this game in the past. It's coming out March 21st. It's basically like this little girl on an island, and then she can transform into animals. It's a very cutesy, cartoony looking thing. But that was announced to be part of the PlayStation Plus catalog on day one. So if you've got PlayStation Plus Extra or Premium editions, then you can play that game when it comes out. They also announced at this point the games for next month, the PlayStation Plus games that are free with PlayStation Essential. There's Battlefield 2042, Minecraft Dungeons, and Code Vein. After
what about Humanity? Did you get to that yet?
That's what I'm on now. Okay. Humanity is made by the team that made Tetris Effect and Res Infinite. To me, it reminds me of like Lemmings, but you play as a dog and you're basically like herding these people through these kind of puzzle levels. And you can actually build your own levels as well and share them with friends.
Oh, yes. I would love to just push these people off the edge or something like that. Oh, my God.
So that is coming in May 2023. That game looks pretty cool.
Should be children in there, too.
After that, they showed off Goodbye Volcano High. I believe we've seen this in the past as well.
There are children.
Turn that slider up to...
What's up with the lightsaber battle stuff? Well, what the hell?
Did I miss lightsaber battles in that game?
Yes, you did then.
Humanity.
Oh, is it, you could create it and all that stuff.
Oh, is that part of the creation stuff?
Yeah.
Yeah, that game looks really neat. I don't know like what the gameplay is necessarily. There is a gameplay demo on YouTube now. But that's what it reminded me the most of was Lemmings, basically, because it seems like you're trying to. Oh my God, these people are just getting annihilated by balls, Dominic. This game is brutal. And then there's the big gold weirdos. I don't like those, Dominic. Oh, and yeah, that's a VR compatible game as well. That would be pretty cool to see in VR. All right. Next up, Dominic, Goodbye Volcano High. Coming out June 15th, basically a visual novel, but with some rhythm elements because you're in a band. You seem to be teenage like dinosaurs.
Furby-esque.
Furby-esque?
Dinosaurs. Yeah, they're not exactly. I said Furbies. I mean furries.
Furries. Okay.
Furry-esque.
They're called scalies, Dominic.
Whatever. It's close. They're closer to My Little Ponies than dinosaurs.
They're called featheries, I guess, depending on what grouping of dinosaur people you're talking about. Yeah, they're very like visual novel-y looking. Like you kind of know what you're getting into a lot of times with the visual novel look, but it looks like a Dream Daddy-esque design on those dinosaurs.
Yeah,
and it seems like some of them are having existential crises. While I feel like the end of the world is probably coming soon.
I don't know how to explain it. It's something like it feels really West Coast-ish. Like West Coast vibe, white people stuff, liberal West Coast vibe.
They're hipster dinosaurs, Dominic. They're hipster dinosaurs.
What do you call that? Because that's how all those games are. And it's fine. I just wish there's got to be a genre of like you call this shit.
Yeah, it definitely has a Life is Strange look to it, right?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like Life is Strange. That even the game I liked has somewhat of that, but it's in a small town. But still, the cat. Night in the Woods.
Yeah, Night in the Woods. Absolutely.
Yeah, it's got to be a genre that shit's called.
Does that match Twee? I'm not sure what Twee is anymore, but I feel like maybe that's what that describes. Twee, excessively or effectively quaint or pretty or sentimental. I guess it has kind of a sentimental vibe to it.
Yeah,
but yeah. That looks all right. I'm interested to see what that actually is, especially because it's got the rhythm elements too, where you're doing the band stuff. You know, Night in the Woods was cool. If they do something like that, I'm here for it. Even with their hipster dinos. All right, next up, Dominic.
It's fine. Yeah. I don't mind that.
Next up, Boruto. They got the Boruto stuff in there now. Ultimate Ninja Storm Connections. That's coming out in 2023.
It looks good. Visual, as the animation and everything.
Yeah, looks.
But
looks
I tried playing those kind of games. It's just weird. They feel weird. They look good. They look good though. When I play, it's like, oh, but it looks nice. But it just. Playing it just feels weird. Like it's just, I'd rather just play a 2D fighter. Right? Just be 2D like Dragon Ball Z Fighters.
Yep. I mean that's the thing. The Naruto games, it felt like hit their stride before like even Dragon Ball games really did. Like some of those 360 Naruto games seemed like they were actually pretty solid before.
Yeah.
We actually got ones from Dragon Ball that were. So. We shall see. All right, next up, Dominic. Baldur's Gate 3 was announced to be coming to the PlayStation August 31st.
If you had told me this is Diablo 4, and I would believe him.
Well, that's why they need this.
If they would have stayed isometric, then we want 3D, I was like, wait a minute. Diablo don't go like that, like right behind the back. But unless I probably would have said like, oh, I guess they're doing that now.
Yeah. Yep. This is Sony going, oh crap, they're gonna take Diablo from us. We gotta get our own. So we're going to give somebody money to make Baldur's Gate exclusive, I guess.
It looks good. Look at that. Is that supposed to be a dwarf? He drawn it all weird.
Laugh at these poor dwarfs, Dominic. All right, next up was Wayfinder. That is going to have a PlayStation exclusive beta.
That's because I haven't played it too fast. I have it on like 1.25 speed. Yeah, I was wondering why it was so weird.
All right, Wayfinder, that's coming out February. Not coming out. The beta is launching on February 28th. And that is like a multiplayer online. I think it's like more melee focused kind of thing.
Yeah.
It seems all right.
It's still kind of MMO-ish to me.
Yeah. Next up was Street Fighter 6, Dominic. They had a trailer for Zangief and Cammy, as well as a new character, Lily.
Yeah, but she wasn't wearing no thong, was she?
I know. It's confusing, right? Like, that's not the Cammy we know. She's got pants on.
Yo, Japan, don't get woke on us. Don't get woke on us.
They get woke. Jesus, stop. Don't you worry. I'm sure there will be plenty of costumes in there that more than live up to what you're looking for.
It looks good, man. I like the look of this game.
It looks nice. Yeah, so that's cool. Let's see what else. After that, we had Resident Evil 4. They showed another trailer for that. That's still coming out March 24th. And they have confirmed now that the Mercenaries mode will be included in that, as well as there will be a special demo coming soon of that game. There was also talk that there's going to be a VR mode added to that after the fact. They don't have any details or dates on that just yet, but they've confirmed that that is happening. What do you think, Dominic? I think I already talked about this and my feelings on it. What are you thinking towards this remake?
I mean, it's a remake that I wish it didn't happen, that they would have focused, if they're going to do a remake of something that wasn't like the most famous Resident Evil.
Yeah. The most modern feeling Resident Evil.
Yeah, the one that started the modern feel. So like do Zero or do Code Veronica, do Survival, the first person shooter one. Or like change it up so it won't be first person shooter. Make it like a new game. Or just do it or a new game, of course. But yeah, that's the only thing. I mean, it looks good though. I mean, these last Resident Evil has been looking great.
Absolutely.
These last few they've been doing.
It's really funny that you say that though, that like it started the modern thing, because like now when I really think about it, the remakes were literally just turning Resident Evil 2 and Resident Evil 3 into Resident Evil 4. So how do you turn Resident Evil 4 into Resident Evul 4?
It's just updated graphics.
Yeah. That's exactly it. And that's exactly why like I'm starting to be like, I'm not super interested in this, because all it is, or all it seems like it is right now, is that it's not a change in the gameplay, because the gameplay didn't need to change. That's why to me, like,
I know some people like to argue like, hey, but it looks better as before. But I say, but you know what? All the companies can just do that.
Yeah.
Just keep playing the same game because you can make it look better. I mean, of course you can do that for every game. The whole point is that no, you're supposed to just move forward.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. All right, Dominic, let's see. The last thing we got here, this is kind of what they built the state of play around. They finished this off with footage from the Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League game. They started it out with a trailer. They showed a lot of gameplay, a lot of fast-moving action. Everybody's kind of got a gun situation going on, it seems like. The gameplay isn't quite as varied between the characters as I thought it was going to be. It's not to say they don't have their own unique kind of things to them, but it definitely feels like it kind of boils down to just being this third-person shooter with some additional elements. What do you think?
Yeah, that's what it is. It has the elements of like Anthem, like with the whole jetpack thing situation, you know. I see with Deadshot. Then you have Harley Quinn, kind of like Spider-Man. How she kind of flying around, but you using your gun, shooting the air. Yeah. Everybody has a gun. Like, you might have some special abilities for each person, but everybody has they're using a gun. So it's more of a, like you say, a third-person shooter. So it's closer to Destiny, and then with also the Destiny elements too.
Yeah.
Of, ranking up, leveling up, getting costumes, getting new weapons, abilities, and getting higher levels, probably to get to be stronger weapons and things of that nature, customizing yourself. I mean, this is like Gotham Knights somewhat, but even though Gotham Knights took out the loot box situation, really, I don't know if you can buy just loot boxes in a game. I didn't see the ability. But you do pick up loot as you go out to do things. But I'm thinking this is going to have more. I think this is going to have the microtransaction stuff though.
Oh, absolutely.
Like Gotham Knights. I mean, unless they put it in recently or something, they didn't have it when they came out. And it's like that was almost an in between, of what like the low loot boxes. It's like almost like Destiny-ish, but without the loot box stuff. So it felt like still like just a multiplayer game. While this feels like more than multiplayer. This is like, nah, they want you to keep playing this shit. Like they want you to get everything, kind of like Avengers. What Avengers was, like Avengers wanted to be. They want to, I guess that's the thing. They feel like they can do what Avengers couldn't. Mm-hmm. And probably gameplay wise, I mean, the look of it looks better. It looks better than Avengers was. And maybe gameplay wise, it is better, but it's not necessarily something I want, because I feel like, for me personally, I will like playing it. I would probably like playing this game, but then I'm going to get bored. And then I'm going to stop. Because really, because once I beat the story, I'm not going to want to play this anymore. Mm-hmm. And that's okay. But it's not. But it's going to be one of those games that it's like, hey, they want you to keep playing and keep trying. And it's like, nah, I just want to play it through it for the story, like I did Arkham. I didn't want to keep going back to Arkham. I just want to play it through the story and maybe do like the side quests with Batgirl or something. But other than that, no, I didn't want to keep playing that game. Not in that way. I didn't want to play a Destiny shooter game. Like there are games like that. I didn't want that from this. Yeah. But oh well. I guess we'll see what happens. We'll see how it does.
Yeah, because the thing I was telling you before we started recording about this is like when we saw Gotham Knights, it was like, oh, okay, they're doing that. But also you have Rocksteady working on this other thing. It's going to be like the more true to Batman Arkham games. And then we first saw that it was going to be kind of like this third person, team-based thing. And now it seems like it's devolving to like, oh, now it's just this kind of shooter thing. And then you add all those live service elements into it. You say Battle Pass and you have all these currencies, and it starts to become like, oh, man, why is it one of these? We've seen so many of these die in just like the last 2 weeks. I know it's not like, oh, they should have learned these lessons, because obviously this stuff happened very recently and this game has been in the works for a long time, but like, man, it sucks. And then like, I think the gameplay itself looked cool, like the movement and the action, but the actual, like, all they were doing was sliding around and shooting these purple orbs on everything. That seemed kind of weird to me. Like, I guess I get it. Like, they're trying to break, like, the Brainiac, stuff off of things. But, like, I'm just hoping there's more to it than that, I guess. And it's not just hit the weak point for massive damage on everything that you're shooting, basically.
Yeah, because even the Brainiac, it's even on a helicopter.
Yeah, exactly. That's the one that I was like, okay, now this is just getting ridiculous. What are we doing here? Yeah, so I don't know. I'm superly cautiously optimistic about this is what I am right now. Like I have high hopes that this can still be good, but also I am gonna wait until I see reviews that confirm that it is actually good before I spend too much brain power on it.
Yeah. It's just so weird. Like you seeing King Shark like just having a Gatling gun and shooting just a regular gun. When it's like, man, I expect him just to be like just go ram the people and just bite their heads off and shit like
Hell
that.
yeah.
Like, what the
Exactly.
and
Should be doing some Samoa Joe moves on him.
Boomerang, yeah. Well, see, he looked like he does a special ability with the boomerang, but then he just shooting a gun, and then it's like, dude, he should have like a whole bunch of special boomerangs or something like that.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, we'll sell you special boomerangs, Dominic. Don't you worry. Yeah. I think the only other thing to talk about real quick with this game is what you and I were talking about before we started recording. Like, this is set in the Arkham universe, seemingly. And it seems kind of dark. Like, yeah, these guys are all, infected by Brainiac, but they're still like killing people and whatnot. So, like,
yeah.
What is this universe going to look like at the end of this game? Are we just going to literally kill off all of the Justice League?
See, that's why I didn't think it was part of the Arkham universe at first. I know people were saying that, and I was like, maybe it's not, because I saw Deadshot in Arkham City. He wasn't black.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I was joking, but I guess it's just one of those things. Just say, hey, we just made you a black guy. There we go, because we got to have one of these characters be black. We got to have color.
We've got diversity. We've got a Polynesian shark, Dominic. It's fine.
I mean, just to be honest, though, like, if they didn't make Deadshot black, I wouldn't have been upset. I mean, I'm just saying that you gotta just, if they want to make diversity, like, I don't mind it being black, but I'm just saying that you could have got what's his name, Tiger, something, shit, I forgot his name, something Tiger, he's because he is black, that's his, and he's an anti-hero, but he was on the Suicide Squad before.
Oh, okay.
Bronze Tiger, I think it is.
Bronze Tiger. Not Black Tiger. They didn't just go with that name.
Nah.
Black Lightning, Black Tiger, Black Adam. I know Black Adam doesn't count.
Yeah, no, Black.
Unless you ask the WWE, in which case the Black Adam is the first black champion.
Yeah, Bronze Tiger. Yeah, they could have got Bronze Tiger. And got Michael J. White to talk for him.
There you go. All right, Dominic. So that was the Sony State of Play. Did you see any other news this week you want to talk about, or these past couple of weeks you want to talk about before we jump into new releases?
Nah, I'm good.
All right, new releases, Dominic. We actually got a pretty solid slate here, so let's start going down the list. First up, we got Blanc. That is out on the Nintendo Switch and PC, and that is that black and white game starring a deer and a fox, I think, that we've seen on like Nintendo Directs and some other places. I have actually not seen any reviews on this game yet, so I wonder how it turned out. It seemed like, people were pretty positive on it leading up to it, but currently user reviews on Steam do not seem to be particularly favorable, showing
what is this game about?
6 out of 10. It's like a black and white game. There's like a little fox or a dog and then a deer, and it looks kind of like co-op-y.
That's right. This was on
game.
Was this shown off in Nintendo Direct or something?
Yeah, I think Nintendo Directs, we've seen it a couple of times now. So, yeah, if that didn't turn out good, that is unfortunate. Okay, let's see Metacritic for the Switch. Yeah, 67 for the game on there.
It's bad for artsy-fartsy games to get bad scores.
Yeah. 3.4 user ones. Let's see. This first one is a 4. Cute game, not worth the $15. The art style is charming at the start until you realize your eyes are hurting from staring at a white screen for 2 hours. Hard to tell what's going on with the poorly optimized camera and blurry visuals. Story felt underdeveloped with no real stakes. Some parts were charming, but not enough to leave a good taste in my mouth. Let's see. This one says 10. My brother and I played through the first 7 chapters on the first night and finished it on the second night. It was such a great little game, and we really enjoyed it. So there you go. That's the dichotomy of the world there, Dominic.
Yeah.
Next up,
I can see people still because, I mean... Yeah. If you just look for something simple or something, maybe, I don't know.
I mean, especially, I think we've talked about this in the past, but like, even bad games, when they're co-op and you're playing with somebody, you can find a lot of fun in bad games when you're playing with somebody else.
And his brother's probably special needs, so it doesn't matter. Jeez. Yeah, so it's just having good times.
Goodness gracious. All right, next up, Returnal is now out on the PC, so former PlayStation exclusive there. Yeah, that game looks kind of cool. I'm interested to see that game. One of these days, I'll probably end up checking it out, either through like a PlayStation catalog thing or something, probably. Because, it's roguelike, but I've also heard people describe it as kind of like a 3D Metroid as a third-person shooter, which I think could be pretty cool. You also have the Tales of Symphonia remaster. That's out on the Xbox, PS4, and Nintendo Switch.
Oh, shit. I remember reading about that. I totally... Damn, it's here.
Yep. I did not realize it had released already as well. You also have Shadow Warrior 3, the definitive edition. That's now on PC, PS5, and Xbox Series, as well as that game is out on Game Pass now. So if you're looking to play Shadow Warrior 3, that's a great time to play it. We also have Theater Rhythm Final Bar Line, now out on the Nintendo Switch and PS4. That is the Final Fantasy music game. So if you're looking for a musical good time, you can check that out. There.
Music they didn't have from the other one, or did they just have the? Is it just a?
I don't know, but now they've got like 10 million songs or something, Dominic. So clearly they were missing something from that last one, because this is the one that has like the 2 DLC packs that combined you end up with like over 750 songs or something like that. I feel like
God, was that many?
Apparently, they've got every sound ever made in one of these games.
Yeah. It's probably like variations of certain songs too. It's like it's the orchestra version. This is the MIDI version.
Let's see. I just saw a number here, but I thought that was too low, so maybe I was wrong in my exaggeration.
It's the piano version or something like that.
Because they are saying 385 songs, but I thought there was more if you like put together the party with a total of 104 characters. Yeah, that's just too many things, Dominic. 104 characters, 385 songs. This is just absurd. It's absurd. All right, next up, Dominic, Wild Hearts. That's out on the PC, PS5, and Xbox Series.
But that's just Monster Hunter, right?
That is the Monster Hunter game brought to you by, who is it? Koei Tecmo. And
so does it play better than Monster Hunter, or is it still obtuse like that too? Because the way it looked, I think it's obtuse like that too. Exactly.
Yeah.
And I was like, psh,
I think it is just Monster Hunter.
He like just said our monsters look more monstery.
All right, next up, Dominic, Atomic Heart for the PC, PS4, PS5, Xbox One, and Xbox Series. That is also on Game Pass. That is one that I have started to download. I do want to give that a try. It gives me BioShock vibes, and I am all about that. Reviews have been kind of all over the place from what I've seen. There have been some surprisingly low ones and some surprisingly high ones, because honestly, I kind of expected this game to be in like the 8 range. What are you getting from this game?
I'm getting a lot of Stalin vibes.
It's probably the right thing to get from it.
No, the game, it looked, yeah, I want to play it. I'm curious about the game. Yeah, I'm not seeing like overwhelming, like people love the game. It's like kind of in the 7s and 8s or so. I mean, I think I saw a 9 somewhere, but
I feel like IGN was the standout with like a really low score. I'm trying to find the Metacritic now.
But I do want to play it because it does look good. So yeah, I'll give it a shot. I didn't even realize it was on the last gen consoles, so I can
I don't want to say forgot. I don't think I knew that either. Let's see, what would IGN have reviewed this under? On Metacritic, it doesn't even have a category for PS4 or Xbox, so I feel like no one's going to actually review it under that.
No.
We are firmly
you got to find out for yourself.
Yeah.
If they can run.
All right, next up, Dominic, we have Like a Dragon Ishin. That is the in the past one. That is out on PC, PS4, PS5, Xbox One, and Xbox Series. It's got Kenny Omega in it, so if you want to use him as a support or whatever, you got that going.
Yeah, 9 out of 10 on Steam, but I don't see what's Metacritic. Because I definitely want this. I mean, I'm into the series. 81.
Okay. How long do you think before that shows up on Game Pass?
Next year.
Yeah.
Or 2 years. We still gotta get Judgment. I want Judgment on Game Pass. But shit, they put all the Yakuzas out almost basically the same time, somewhat. Like this month, month or so. I could do that.
Did we ever figure out if Judgment is on Xbox and just not on Game Pass yet, or if it's not on there?
It is on Xbox. Okay. It is on there.
All right.
I just always missed the goddamn sale.
All right, next up, Dominic, PSVR. I mentioned earlier that released this week. Their big title, of course, being Horizon Call of the Mountain. I don't think I've really seen reviews for that either. I know there have been a lot of reviews of the headset recently, but I haven't
Such a low price. Such a low price.
Yes.
It is. Based on that technology, it should be about $50,000. I'm only paying $500. So.
It's funny because I've seen that was all the like talk around when it got announced. Like, oh, the price, for what you're getting is not that bad. But a lot of the little bit that I've seen from the reviews is all everybody just mentioning how expensive it is. So it's like, yeah, if you don't, especially because they don't even have backwards compatibility. So like, if they're just trying to sell you this thing that literally costs more than the console that you bought to play it on.
And it's not wireless.
And you don't have a lot of software to sell. Like, yeah, people are going to start to wonder if it's worth it.
Because I don't think I could. You know what? Because that means, for me, the most space I have is my living room.
Right.
And that means I would have to bring my PlayStation 5. I have to keep it downstairs, but I only have a TV downstairs. Mm-hmm. So I would have to take it from wherever the TV is and bring it downstairs, or if I'm already downstairs, bring it to the living room part because I have room to move. You mean I don't need a TV because I'm using a headset,
right.
But I would have, it would be convenient for me to have that, to even have that one because of it not being wireless. It will be convenient to me only if I'm playing a game that doesn't involve me to move. I can sit down, and play.
Yeah. And it looks like you can just buy them from PlayStation Direct right now. So I wonder what that means for the for how excited people are about this. If they're not selling through the initial allotments. I don't want to sit here and be the guy
probably have it for Spider-Man. That's what you gotta do. You'll get people to get it.
There you go.
It's that would suck.
Yeah. So that's it. That's out now. I don't know that there are too many other games worth mentioning from that launch, just because most of them have already been out elsewhere. It's really just Call of the Mountain. That's kind of their big thing. All right, next up, Dominic, Blood Bowl 3. That's out on... Oh, excuse me. Next up, Dominic, we have Blood Bowl 3. That's out on PC, PS4, PS5, Xbox One, and Xbox Series. Where's your interest in the series at?
I think I played 2. I forget which one it was. I think it was 2 though.
I remember you being excited about it at one point, and then
I was.
Now we're at 3, and I'm like, where'd this game come from?
I didn't even realize it was. Yeah, this kind of snuck up on me, but it was pretty good. It's an RPG, but with like almost like footballish stuff. It's just that I was fine playing it. It's just that other games, I didn't have time. Like between that, it was enough to get me away from anything else I was playing.
Right.
But the whole thing, like, it's turn based, and because I think it is a paper and pen RPG thing, I guess, whatever, kind of like a Dungeons and Dragons kind of thing. So I mean, it's based off that. And yeah, because I think I played like 2 games in a season. Like I played against some guys or whatever, and then you have like, it's just like football. You have people like receivers and stuff, and you have to get a touchdown, but it's just like you're kind of battling, and like it's like a strategy game basically. Right. It's like a strategy game, just in a football field format. I know there's probably some Blood Bowl people will probably say like you're just playing it all wrong, and I am. I'm not explaining it. I'm not explaining it. Tell you right, but I explained the way how I played it, and but it seems fun. It was fun. It didn't seem when I played it didn't feel like it was really complicated to learn the game. I wish it was maybe there was, but maybe it was like a little easier way if I could just jump in and quickly play. But see, it wasn't a console. I don't know if there was a console version out or something like that. So it was like on PC, and I think if there was like something on Xbox and it was like easy to pick up and play, like how Civilization Revolution was, then I think I would be playing it a whole lot more.
Right.
But it's not that it's really it still takes time. Like it's a game that will take, because it's a strategy game. It will take time. It's not quick. Unless you just, I guess if you're overpowered, if your men are overpowered or something, I guess it could be. But I don't know. I think your men do level up if they, do each match. I think so. They haven't played in so long.
Gotcha.
But yeah, I'm wondering how this got rated. I'm wondering if people like this one.
Yeah. All right, Dominic, another number 3 that it feels like kind of came out of nowhere / I didn't remember if 3 had already come out or not. Company of Heroes. Oh no, 3.
This is not good. Don't fuck this one. Don't play this one.
Blood Bowl.
I see like 5 out of 10s. So this is not good. Stick with 2 people. Stick with 2.
Maybe time to not do that. All right, Company of Heroes 3. Dominic, do you remember Company of Heroes 2? I feel like I've seen that cover forever.
Yes.
Yeah, so they basically they've moved to like an African campaign. They're doing that whole thing, sticking with World War II, of course. So, another strategy game. That's out on PC now. We also have Kirby's Return to Dreamland Deluxe now out on the Nintendo Switch. So if you want to get your Kirby on, your more traditional 2D Kirby on, you can check that out there. And then you have Octopath Traveler 2. That is out on PC, Nintendo Switch, PS4, and PS5, Dominic. What is your level of interest in Octopath Traveler 2?
Somewhat. I still want to play Octopath Traveler 1. I still sort of want to play that, but it's just that it's like, it's time. It's like, hey, don't want to play that over this other game I want to play now.
I wonder how much like there's story overlap between the two, because I've definitely heard that like Octopath 1 didn't use the fact that it had so many characters like in a smart way, whereas this one like intertwines them a lot more and tells a lot more interesting story, it sounds like.
Or I just wish I can get through it quick. So I guess because it's on PC, I can put some cheats on. I think that's really what it is, because I didn't feel like to bother keep leveling up. And then, like, because I did die in that demo when I played on the Switch, because I wasn't higher level. I mean, you can win. I just didn't do the right combination of stuff. It didn't happen right for me. Right. They got a critical hit on me or something, or I didn't heal. I thought I can brute force my way through, and I didn't heal, and then it's too late. Like, I just didn't want to stick going to that. Like, that's the type of game. Like, years ago, maybe I would do it. But like play through it for hours or something, or whatever it takes to beat it. But with so many games out now, like that one, I wanted to be a little simpler. Yeah. So I just want to be a little easier. So maybe I'll put a cheat on that's like not even just that I'm invincible, just like maybe, hey, I'm 2 times like 2 times hits or something like that. Like I hit more or something like that. Like I'm a little stronger. For I can get through stuff quick. And I think the save, I forgot, the save system wasn't that great or something? I forgot I don't know if you can save anywhere. I don't know. I don't know how that works in that game. I think that was a thing too. But like from that first one. But yeah, I wonder about the second one. Is it better?
Yeah.
Is it considered better?
From what I saw, it sounded like, it was getting more positive reviews.
Oh, well, it got 9 out of 10, 84% on Metacritic.
Yeah. So, not too shabby, Dominic. Not too shabby. All right, Dominic, those are our new releases for these past couple of weeks. You got anything else for the people?
Nah, I'm good.
All right.
And this podcast, we've been up here long.
Thank you guys as always for listening. You can check us out on Twitter. Dominic's at DStalworth5. I'm at Regulus MB. The podcast is at Supapod, SUPAPOD. Supapod.com is the website. You can check us out there. It has all of our podcasts as well as links to all the places you can find us, including YouTube, where there's a video version of this podcast. You can go check out our half-ass Game of the Year awards for 2022 that just went up. This past week.
You're right.
Yes,
I guess the year we do it is for 2022.
Yeah. You don't want to start going down like the Emmy loophole or whatever, Dominic, where it's like, well, it was part of this, or what was it, like the Japanese game awards? Whenever we look at those awards, it's like, they're reviewing this game from this game. Yeah. So check that out, and of course, all the audio places you can find us as well. iTunes, Stitcher, Google Podcasts, Spotify, all those things. Until next time, guys, talk to you later.
All right, see ya.